Welcome back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler here with Johnny. Johnny, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Tyler. It's that time of the year where we turn the page on the calendar and start again. Are you ready for a fresh new start?
I guess. I mean, it's a construct, the concept of a year. You don't really get a fresh new start. Your life just keeps rolling on. We still got all of our debts. We've still got all these damn video games following us around every year in life.
Are you you're one of these pessimists? You're one of these people who don't just believe in letting yourself mentally exhale and be like, all right, I can do the things that maybe I set out to do.
No, I do. I feel that way every day of my life, Johnny. But no, yeah,
So
I'm a pessimist. What are you talking about?
I know. Well, look, I'm not a pessimist, not overall. But I believe, look, there's a certain group of people, especially on the internet, who are just like, New Year's resolutions are bullshit. Fuck you, you're stupid. This is the dumbest thing ever. You didn't change as a person. Look, any reason that anybody needs to try and start over or feel like they've got another chance and they're going to do better this time, I'm for that. But I don't need to shit on that. It doesn't matter if it's real or if it's fake. If you feel like it's a new year, new you, great. I hope it works out. If you need a resolution to do that, cool. I'm just not here to shit on people for trying.
All right. I'm not shitting on people for trying. I'm sorry to all the people in the gym that you're going to have 2 weeks of people thinking that they're going to start going back to the gym. Also, if you are going to make a resolution to go back to the gym, do it in like July, because like everyone does it in January. You're going at the worst time of the year. Everyone's going to be mad at you and be like, oh, the fucking new fatties are here. I hate them. Just go in July when no one's at the gym anyway, probably.
Just just go if it feels right to you, just go. And
Just go.
we don't need, like, it doesn't matter if only one in 100 are successful. One person was successful and that was good for them. Great. Let's encourage people to be successful.
All right. I think this is the year we all get on Ozempic, or whatever Ozempic is called for everyone else.
I'm already diabetic, Tyler. Sorry for me that it would just make my A1C better.
Yeah. So perfect. Forget the gym. We don't need the gym anymore, guys. We've got Ozempic.
I don't know if it works like that for me. I think that I don't know if I just lose a bunch of weight. I think it just works as intended.
No, I'm pretty sure you still lose weight.
Okay.
Isn't the whole point like you eat less, or it's not the point, but like it just like makes you like think food isn't good or something? It doesn't make you feel full. It like makes you not want food.
Well, that's the problem there is, Tyler, I'm never going to feel that way because that's a mental issue,
Johnny,
not
if you want to
a
get into
not a weight issue.
some awkward family medical history, I have a family friend who had like a really bad medical scare. It had to do with the amount of fat in her food, like her body wasn't processing it correctly. And
Okay.
now when she looks at any food that has any amount of fat in it, she's like physically repulsed. And like that's a horrible thing that she literally can't eat food. But man, I need whatever that condition is, so I stop eating food.
There's plenty of foods that you can eat that don't look like they have fat in it. Have you seen candy? It's delicious and it doesn't look like it has fat in it.
I mean, I don't think it does have fat in it, right? It just has a shitload of sugar, which is
I
way
mean,
better.
it all just becomes fat eventually.
I mean, but as long as it doesn't have fat.
I know, that's why I'm saying, like, look, if she's having problems getting calories in, have you seen candy? It's delicious.
Johnny, it's the end of the year. So this is going to come out early 2026 because it is actually right now New Year's Eve for me right now on the East Coast. But
Woo!
I think we say this a lot. I hate that like the first week of December comes and it's time to do the year-end recaps as if nothing happens in December. You're fucking Spotify wrapped and all your shit. What? It's 11 months of the year. What, you're not going to listen to any music in December? What, does the Christmas music never make the Spotify Wrapped as a result? Like, what the fuck is going on? So we here at Collector's Quest, we do it for real. We wait for the year to end. At the very least, wait until Christmas, because nothing happens the last week of the year. Let's be real. But stuff happens in December.
Yes.
It's bullshit.
We are firm on that.
All right.
These are real days. Real things are happening. The market is changing.
The market is changing, Johnny. It's shifting from video games to Pokemon. I don't even know if that's true. We'll talk about it, but
Okay.
because I think Pokemon might be down a little bit, at least from like the memes I get glimpses of on eBay, because I don't really watch Pokemon content, but every once in a while I'll see a thumbnail and it'll be like, oh no, the resellers, they're so mad because they can't scalp their Pokemon stuff anymore. We did it,
Or
Reddit.
they're scalping something else because the scalping is better elsewhere.
Mm.
So we'll talk about it. Also, I've seen videos on this as well, and people are like, I can now find Pokemon in Target. And I'm like, that's cool, because I went to Target and there was no Pokemon there, and there are still people who will knife you in the street for some Pokemon. And I just because my buddy owns a store, so we pay attention to all the local stores that are still getting robbed. And there was like 5 robberies in the last, I don't know, 6 weeks of stores. And do you know what they stole?
I'm gonna say
I'll give you a
Pokemon?
guess. It was Pokemon.
Wait, was it
Pokemon
a
and
safe
sports
full of
cards.
graded, rare, one-of-a-kind Atari games that would be very easy to track down because there aren't 30,000 identical graded copies?
No. As a matter of fact, it was Pokemon stuff.
Oh, and also bulky, graded in plastic case Atari games that are very hard to move. You would have to have like an entire van just to move like 100 of them, compared to Pokemon cards where you could probably steal 100,000 of them in a van.
You could grab 30 slabs with 2 hands and then be on your way and probably have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your hands. Same with sports cards. Yeah, sports cards easier and better to steal. Same with Pokemon cards than video games.
I'm just saying, yeah, criminals listening to this podcast, what are you doing with a video game heist? Who even buys video games anymore? Just go steal a bunch of trading cards. Makes way more sense.
For our criminal audience, what are you doing? Like, let us help you. Let us help you steal better in 2026.
I've said this on the show, but you know how like gun people have fantasies about like shooting someone, like getting an excuse to murder someone? I have fantasies of a home invasion where someone's like, show me all your most expensive stuff. And I just bring them up and I'm like, all right, there's all my Sega Saturn games. There's all the Genesis games. Have at it. I don't know what you want to do with all this now.
Yeah.
I need the space, honestly. Take as much as you want.
It's like, oh, and you better be careful when you load them. Like, I see you have a sack there.
Oh, man, we're going to have to get you a really
sack.
useful box, maybe some bubble wrap for these.
Yeah, like these are all very condition sensitive. You will lose thousands of dollars if you just throw them in that sack. I'm sorry, Mr. Criminal, sir. So let me, like, here, hold on. Hold on. I think I have something in the garage.
Oh, the pinball machines? What, you want to like wheel one of these away? Do you need some help loading it?
What's the most expensive one? Let me show you my Twilight Zone machine. Here you go.
No, dude, the Twilight Zone one's all the way in the back of a room. I would have to like take out like 2 or 3 games to get it all the way out of my house. I mean, so don't take that one.
You could tell him like, hey, this is the one that's going to get you the most money, but we're going to be here a while. Are you willing to help me lift this thing? I don't have a pinball dolly.
Can you call for help? Can we get like a TaskRabbit to do this with us?
Yeah, hold on. They say they've got a guy here. He'll be here in 30 minutes. Just hold on.
Johnny, I think we should get right into it because there's a lot of stuff in this document and I'm scared that we're not going to finish, and I have work tomorrow.
Okay, well, let's go, because there's a lot to talk about, and we can shortcut some of it.
All right,
just
Johnny,
a general recap.
I am starting with the real video game news that affects us, and I came up with 4 things, but I don't know, maybe you have more. I just literally did this off the top of my head, and I'm also someone who doesn't really pay attention to video game news anymore.
Okay.
Johnny, the Switch 2 was released. Whoa!
What's that?
That's a new video game console to collect.
Oh.
How do you feel about that? Are you collecting your Switch 2 games?
I got a couple for Christmas.
To collect or to play?
To play.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Oh, but they will go in my collection. Oh, am I one of those people now? Am I be like, I play my video games? I can get real shitty about it?
I guess.
I don't know.
I feel like for you to say you're buying something for your collection, it has to be something you're specifically not going to play. Like, I don't know, you could play stuff in your collection, but if it's like a Switch 2 game, if it's something that's just like a video game that you happen to own because you played it, like, yeah, it's in your collection, but you also have 1,000 other games that you bought specifically not to play. It feels like something different. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky here, but you know what I mean.
I don't. Yeah, look, all those games until they are like 3 years old, they're not in your collection. They're in your actively playing pile.
You are not collecting Switch 2. The people who are collecting Switch 2 own every single Switch 2 game, and they're going to keep up with it.
But there's so few because there's only. I mean, everyone knows you've got game key cards, game cards, and then download codes, and some people are like only if the game is on the thing does it actually matter. Now you got to like pay attention to different regions. There's some wild stuff out there.
I heard that the Switch 2 holiday console sales were disappointing. So first the Switch 2 was like, oh, the fastest selling video game console ever. And then apparently on Black Friday or whatever, it did not do well. And Nintendo stock is down like 50% since summer. Still up over the year, but it has crashed since the summer for whatever reason. Do the people care about Switch 2? I literally have... So one, I'm not in tune with the modern like actual gamer market. And two, YouTube, like the algorithm, has put me into the group of people who hates the Nintendo Switch 2. I have no opinion on the Switch 2. I have no plans to own one until Super Mario Maker 3 comes out. Like, I could not care less about the Switch 2. But they think like, oh, you want to see videos about how much Pokemon ZA sucks. You want to hear how disappointing Metroid Prime 4 is. You want to hear how Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have a killer app yet. It just thinks I'm on the Switch 2 hate train, which is fine. But it's obviously biasing my view. It's like, oh, well, obviously the Switch 2 sucks, which I don't think it does because it was an incredibly fast-selling console.
Yeah, I don't know. And... It's hard to parse out. We won't really know what the Switch 2 is doing for another 6 months. Like, are games actually releasing for this thing? Do they have enough? Are there actual games outside of Donkey Kong that people want to play? What's out there? And again, what does it look like? What do their download sales look like? Because it's a console where they, as they've eschewed physical media a little bit, like, do their download sales look strong? What metrics are we using? Are we using the right metrics to even look at this right now? I'm just not sure that I have a clear enough picture of everything that's going on with the Switch 2 to really make any broad sweeping pronouncements on it.
I mean, all the big video game companies are public companies, so I'm sure we get those download numbers reported somewhere, and I'm sure they're stronger than they've ever been.
Well, it's going to be an interesting time to be a physical collector. Because you're going to have very few, like you're going to get this weird delineation because you have these key cards, right? That aren't really games, but they are physically games. It's weird to nitpick that while computer people have been dealing with this issue forever. That like their disc basically just unlocks a download.
I mean, forever being the mid 2000s, but like that's basically just when PC collecting stops is the mid 2000s because of that.
Sure, but there are still people who collect that stuff. So is this really an issue? Are people going to collect those key cards? Are people going to just go for the game on card stuff? And what are the print runs of that stuff going to look like? What are the print runs of these, code on cards? How long is that going to last? Do people really want that? I know that's Nintendo just trying to throw a bone to physical collectors to keep people coming in to buy the physical thing. So grandma has something to put in the stocking. Or in a gift bag for you. I don't know if this is a great idea, but clearly the public reaction to it has not been great.
Did they backtrack something on the game key cards? So the game key cards are the other interesting thing with the Switch 2. They happened. So there was something, I saw a news article, I'm desperately digging it up now, that some games had switched from key cards to real cartridges because key cards were not selling well. So I think R-Type Dimensions 3 specifically switched from a key card to a real game.
Interesting.
Because probably what it cost an extra, like, oh, we got to spend another $1.12 on electrical component. Probably not even. Spend another 60 cents to actually put the game on this fucking cartridge.
Well, that raises the question now. Is that key card going to be more collectible because it's the first print?
No, fuck it. Not at all.
Are you sure?
No, I don't think key cards they're nothing. I think if you're collecting Switch 2 games, the one thing that we ever said that when we were talking about Switch 2 collecting, all the Nintendo games, theoretically, the good games would be real games that come out, not these cheapo key cards. And I think the set of Switch 2 games that are real games might be an interesting set to collect if it ends up being like, 80% actually good stuff and all the junk just gets put on key cards.
Yeah. I mean, if that's a list of like 100 games, then, maybe pencil me in.
I don't think I think that the game key cards are stupid. Because I don't think that, I mean, obviously everyone thinks they're stupid, but like, I don't think there's going to be a problem like, oh, there's only going to be so many people buying physical media for the Switch 2, so it's technically going to be rare. Switch 2 is the next Sega Saturn. So yes, I think that physical sales will be lower than they've ever been, and I think less people are interested in collecting this stuff than they've ever been, because you don't have a group of high school aged people now who are like going to get into game collecting, because kids don't care about physical media. It's like not a part of their existence anymore. We've been saying, oh, it's coming. No one's gonna care. They're growing up on Fortnite and Roblox skins. Yeah, it's here. Kids don't buy fucking DVDs. I used to go out on Black Friday and buy DVD movies.
Yes,
that is not something anyone has ever done. No one's looking through the GameStop periodical that gets mailed to them, and they're like, oh shit, I can get Metal Gear Solid 2 for $2.99 used. I'm gonna run out and buy a physical copy of that. They're browsing the Black Friday winter sale store, the Steam winter sale.
True. Look, Steam and iPads and mobile phones have pretty much killed video games in that sense. So I don't know. Collecting video games really looks like an old man bullshit hobby right now, doesn't it?
I think it very much does, yes.
But old man bullshit hobbies have been resurrected before. So I don't know what the impetus for that would be. Or the catalyst for that would be, but I'm here for it if it happens.
There's a pretty fascinating graph. I posted this on in the Collector's Quest Discord. It was under the other collectibles thing. Let me bring it up. Hold on. I like this graph a lot.
Okay.
It was the production numbers of physical army men by year through 2025. Because who is buying like plastic toy soldiers? And they have the data going back to 1958. And so who is buying plastic toy soldiers, Johnny? I know we say the word boomers a lot in somewhat of a facetious way, but who do you think is buying fucking toy soldiers? It's fucking boomers. And when did this peak? 2009 was the absolute peak of the market. It exploded in 2009. It was crazy and has been going downhill since then. It's not exactly a bell curve, but it's like a perfect curve that gradually ramps up to 2009 and then immediately drops off. And then in 2022, it dropped off even more because it dropped off like 2/3 because the war in Ukraine. Apparently, a lot of toy soldiers were made in Ukraine. But so it's basically steady up from the 1950s through the early 90s. And then it goes crazy from the early 90s through 2009. It ramps straight up. It looks literally like video games since 2008. And this is a production number graph, but you could imagine it like a price graph too. And it ramps up from the early 90s through 2009. And so what is that? It's like 20 years. And then it peaks, and then it's going down. And Johnny, do you know what's going to happen now that toy soldiers have been going down since 2009? Do you think plastic toy soldiers will ever have a fucking resurgence? You think that some dad is going to teach their kids about their love of plastic toy soldiers and like, oh, their kid's going to get really into collecting plastic toy soldiers? Fucking no. This is dead forever.
I don't know if that's a good comparison.
I think it's a good comparison.
I don't know if I agree with that. I look, video games are a lot in a lot different place. You know,
That's
it's
true.
an entertainment medium versus a toy. So I don't know. Video games are still going to be around. They're still going to figure out a way. Look, Army Men, kids aren't even playing with fucking Army Men. That's the deal. But video games are still going to be around. Steam had a banger year still. Mobile sales of games were huge again. So we're just in a weird boom or bust market when it comes to games. We're still in this spot where the only games that can be sold are indie games or AAA games, and you know, uh, both of those lend themselves to not being physical media.
So, yes, I think the problem is that as a collectible, you have to separate the incredible, most popular media, most valuable media that there ever has been, video games, from the collectible, which is a physical disc or cartridge. Because while the concept of video games are the most valuable, amazing, everyone makes billions of dollars thing ever, the physical item is. So what I'm looking at a production graph. This production graph of Army Men does not include digital downloads if this was a video game graph. And we already know physical media, not just video games, media in general peaked in the mid 2000s. It's actually pretty close to when Army Men peaked. And it's been going down because so much more has been downloads.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I mean, we've speculated on this for a long time. Does physical media fully need to die for video games to have their bounce back moment?
Their bounce back moment. What do you mean bounce back?
Oh,
Well, I think that's going to be more of a dead cat bounce, but there's definitely going to be an increase. I think we might have a year or two where things go crazy, and then similar to how GameCube is cooling off a little bit, certain games, I think things will just go back to normal.
I'm curious to see how it goes. Everyone is, there's so many people out there, all the annoying people. I can't wait for video games to crash and then I can buy them all. Hey guys, your time might be coming. I hope so. But will they ever actually crash? Like fully crash? I don't know. And will you be alive to see it is the question. So,
I mean, I think fully crash means Magic of Scheherazade is at like 2005 prices. And I think there is a future where that happens. There's not going to be a future where Super Mario Brothers goes back to 2005 prices, because of the diehards who stay on, they're going to still want the good stuff. They're going to be like, oh, I'll buy Little Samson if it crashes. I'll buy Super Mario Brothers if it crashes. Like the stuff that is seen as like the top stuff to have in whatever sense. It could be the rare stuff. It could be the popular stuff. But I think the stuff that doesn't matter, when people decide they don't want to own 5,000 fucking stupid video games, they don't want a bulk bin of random Pokemon cards. They want the PSA 10 nice Pokemon cards they could show off. I think that video game bulk can go down pretty significantly.
Okay. All right. I can see that being true. I'm not here to fight you. All right. All right. We speculate on this enough? Are we... That's our first bit of news. We're like, we got to get through this episode.
Yeah, that's why we need to start this document episode. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even say, but yeah, this is the beginning of the end for physical media is the fact that game key cards exist at all. I think that, yes, as we said, the end of physical media will be a huge moment in video games. And it could have been some decisive thing where all the companies collectively get together, because they're not coordinating, but they're all going to be like, all right, we're going to stop, guys. And we could have had that, but instead Nintendo decided to drag it out so it dies kicking and screaming rather than us just giving us a ripping off the Band-Aid moment, which is terrible, I think. But it's what we get to deal with as collectors now.
Yeah, we say that they aren't actually going to make those decisions, but they are talking, even if it's through third parties, because all these factories that make this stuff, all the associated video game nonsense isn't made by a ton of different people, like print houses, production facilities. They are going to be talking, and they're going to be looking at their numbers going down, and they're going to be trying to source orders. And when when other companies start to see that their factory has a bunch more slots open for orders to be put in, they're going to be like, that's suspicious. And, they're just going to trigger a lot of different conversations as to what's going on. And then, there'll be plenty of news articles about everything physical is dead and, move on. Video games might be just, it might be a medium best left to digital, honestly. So
best left. How dare you? First of all,
I understand that, but it's not DVDs. It's not Blu-rays. They are hard to play. The nature of so many different consoles and everything. Like if we start to see this consolidation, Xbox doesn't even really have exclusives anymore. That's like a dying ship. So what's it going to be? Nintendo exclusive and Sony exclusives? At what point does that stop mattering? It already basically doesn't matter. You're just like, okay, I guess I play Mario over here on the Nintendo and these Nintendo characters, but the rest of it, I think, is up for grabs.
You cut that out. Everything should be physical media. Don't let them take things from you. Don't let anything of yours be connected to the internet. The internet is evil, and you don't own anything that's connected to the internet. They've Googled shut off your Nest thermostat this year, guys. You bought a $200 fucking thermostat. Now they don't even work. Fuck the internet.
Why doesn't your Nest thermostat work?
Google shut off if you had an older Nest thermostat, you can't use it anymore. It's still a dumb thermostat, but the app doesn't work and you can't do anything with it.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. I'm 100% sure. This was go watch any privacy YouTuber. Go Louis Rossman, I'm sure, has a 30-minute video on how evil Google is for fucking your thermostat up.
I mean, I'm just looking at my thermostat and it still works.
It sounds like you have a Gen 3 Nest thermostat, Johnny, you fucking rich bitch. Well, 5 years from now, I'll come at you and I'll talk about how your thermostat no longer works and now you gotta buy a new fucking $500 thermostat. And it's $500 because of inflation.
My thermostat was $80 and I got a rebate from the state of California for most of the cost.
I was accounting for inflation, but
okay.
I mean, I'm mad about the thermostat thing because growing up, I was in houses that were built in the 1950s, and they had the same fucking thermostat. It was the oldest ass thermostat, and then you buy a Google one, and it's 5 years later, it's dead.
I love my Nest thermostat. I'm just gonna go out and say, having a thermostat I can control from my phone has been a boon on my life.
I'm going to say something controversial, Johnny. I like Nest thermostats just because I think they're really nicely designed. But of course, mine's not connected to the internet. I just think it's a nice thermostat.
It is very easy to just go over and crank that giant ass dial. They make it very simple.
Why hasn't everybody copied this design?
I don't know.
Thermostat. Every thermostat interface is I don't want to figure out how to use this. I'm just going to press the up and down buttons because that's all you want to do.
Yes.
Why is it so hard?
I don't know. And they were literally guys, shouldn't this just be a knob up or down? We want to go up. We want to go down. What do you want your temperature? Your volume up or down? Perfect. Very simple. It,
and it's a fucking physical dial in a world of shitty touch screens. They got a tactile thing right. This is the first good thing you'll ever hear Tyler say about Google. Technically, this was designed by the company Nest before they got purchased by Google. So I'll give that company props, I guess.
Anyways.
Also, they're spying on all your data and they know when you leave the house, they know your work schedule because they have motion sensors. Oh God, if you have a Nest thermostat connected to the internet, you're screwed, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. Get on your tinfoil hats, people, to keep yourself insulated.
Johnny. The Xbox is dead. The brand death of the Xbox is, I think 2025, we can officially put a pin in it. There's no more Xbox.
Are we sure?
I think we're pretty sure. I think the actual death knell was them announcing Halo on PS5. And I don't think a Halo Combat Evolved remake matters. Who fucking cares? It's the optics of putting a Halo game on PlayStation. No one is ever going to buy an Xbox again. I don't even know if Halo's their top game. Probably the average Call of Duty game, technically a Microsoft franchise, sells more than Halo probably, but who's going to buy a fucking Xbox if you could just buy Halo on the PS5?
People who hate the PS3 controller or PS2 controller that's still working on your PS5.
I mean, I hope they keep doing their Windows shit, because man, those Xbox controllers fucking rule. But
can you imagine if the PlayStation just bought the Xbox controller? Fuck the games. Leave Halo alone. Who gives a shit about that? Buy the controller.
Oh, please. They can't do it's too iconic. I hate that they have an iconic controller that they can't change, because it sucks.
Get rid of the big dumb Xbox button. I don't care. Like, take it and move it down to the bottom, like the PS5 logo, but just get the button placement right and the fucking handles.
It's so dumb. And for anyone who thinks the PlayStation controller is better, just remember that it was based on basically the Super Nintendo controller, because there was going to be the Nintendo PlayStation, and they had the Super Nintendo controller, a console built for video games that came out in 1991, and then the original PlayStation copied that design, and then they tacked on analog sticks to the bottom because they didn't really have a place to put them. And that was when, like 1996 or something? And now for the past 30 years, they've just kept that design because they never really had a good time to change it. Because they just took that into the PS2, and that became the most popular console ever, and now they're like, well, shit, I guess we gotta keep this design. Everybody loves this console, and now we're stuck with these shitty tacked-on analog sticks. It's so stupid.
No, wasn't it the PS3? They tried to change it and make it that fucking boomerang?
Well, that was stupid. But, I mean, they still had the analog sticks in the wrong spot on the boomerang.
Yeah, no. But again, even when they fixed it wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God, they did try to change it, and then people got mad, and now they're probably even more scared to change it. Fuck!
Yeah. Well, it's just the same thing happened when they tried to go digital. Everyone revolted, and it was really just a bunch of loud people, and now we've got this shitty system that still exists. We could already be in a digital future. We could already know the answer to whether video game collecting is dead.
Johnny, Xbox has no exclusives, I think. I couldn't name an Xbox exclusive anymore. Again, I don't pay that much attention, but even for things that don't come out on the Switch and PlayStation, like everything is on PC. Forza Motorsport is on the PS5. They canceled Perfect Dark and Everwild. Not that were people excited for those? I don't know, but they're canceling their own like big games.
If Halo is not an Xbox exclusive, it's over. It's over, Prime.
I mean, yeah, it's the Halo alone is enough to kill the Xbox brand.
That Halo is the Xbox. They are. It would be like if Mario left Nintendo. You'd just be like, oh, well, Nintendo is just a company that makes games. And this is the thing I said. Microsoft should just be Microsoft Studios. We make games, and go be that company. You don't need to make a piece of hardware. Hardware is bullshit. Why do you need to compete in this space?
So this was probably a good idea. I mean, maybe it was in like 2004, whenever they were designing the Xbox, 2002. Someone was like, we need hardware so we could push software, so we could charge for online play, all this like stuff they wanted to do. There must be so many people at Microsoft who are just like constantly punching the walls like, why are we in this business? Why the fuck are we in the video game hardware business? Looking at the numbers, they got like $30 billion coming in with like some AI bullshit with Microsoft Azure, with Windows, and they're looking at their pathetic Xbox One X or Series X sales, and they're like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we in this? And like it's like technically break even or something. It's like, well, we can't just give up what we do have. And so they're forced to just like be in this market they don't want to be in.
The publicity would be so bad. We have to kill it so slowly.
They raised prices on consoles, which is hilarious because they immediately lost this console generation.
They raised prices a second time.
Like, are they trying to kill themselves? Like, is that it?
Yes.
I think they're trying to kill them. They're probably, I bet. So here, I'm going back to the boardroom. They're selling Xboxes for a loss, especially with like chip prices increasing and stuff. And someone's looking at it and like, I don't even want to be selling these consoles to begin with. We need to stop selling them for a loss at least. I don't care. No one's buying them anyway. Why are we losing money on this?
They also increased the price of Live.
Really? What?
Yeah.
What is Xbox Live? It's $50 a year. What did they increase it to?
I think they moved it up to something absurd, like $30 a month or something.
No one's paying $30 a month to play video games online. They did increase the Game Pass prices. So Game Pass prices, I think, almost doubled, and now they have a tier, like the best tier of Game Pass. Kind of the only thing people still care about Microsoft for, the only thing attached to the Xbox name that people had any excitement for was Game Pass, the Netflix of games. And now the highest tier is $30 fucking dollars a month.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And like, I realize there's the shittier tiers where you can still get a Netflix amount of games, like in terms of like, well, I guess I could put something on. But to get the good stuff where they're like, oh, we're releasing this game directly to Game Pass, it's $30 a month. And I kind of get it when video games cost $70, $80 now, and you're releasing a $70, $80 game, and someone could just go buy it on game, like play through the entire thing on Game Pass if they don't care about like playing multiplayer forever, and they only have to pay $30. But fuck, $30 a month for a game service is too much. That's too fucking much. People already have too many subscription services. They don't want to pay $30 a month to play video games.
They sure don't. But it's okay. You'll be fine. Just it'll be fine. Just do it.
On top of this, they did like these Xbox branded handheld consoles. Someone was like, could we try to be a Nintendo Switch? Could we try a Steam Deck thing? And they made like the Asus ROG Xbox Ally, whatever that thing is called. It's basically a Steam Deck that runs Windows, so it plays games worse because the Steam Deck runs Linux, which has less stupid bloat than Windows has. So I think specifically the ROG Ally, it's more powerful than a Steam Deck, but if you just installed Linux on it, it runs games better, which is funny for a Microsoft branded gaming product that if you remove their own fucking operating system, it runs games better. That's not a good gaming product. That's a terrible look for the Xbox handheld, Microsoft.
Yeah, that's an L. You're taking a big L right there.
It's also like twice the price of a Steam Deck, which is like the industry standard, so no one's going to fucking buy it. I mean, I'm sure people buy it, but also it's too big and heavy. You know why the Switch, I don't like the Switch at all, but the Switch isn't that heavy, which is nice. Steam Deck is already too big. This is like, it's comical. It's almost like holding a laptop, these newer handhelds. Guys, remember the Game Boy? The Game Boy, we used to look at the Game Boy and be like, wow, this thing is huge. I can't believe we used to carry this in their pockets. And now we have like this class of like Steam Decks and Asus ROG Ally, like these fucking laptops of handhelds. These are no longer handhelds. We need to bring it back. I want small again.
You have always been in favor of small, though.
I mean, that's true. But I do think, come on, you've seen the ROG Ally thing, right?
It's gigantic.
It's absurd.
Yeah. I don't know. The biggest thing I ever controller I ever played with was the PS2 keyboard. It was like the keyboard and the PS2 controller as one device. Did you ever see that?
I know what the GameCube one looks like. I imagine it's the same on PS2.
It's a little different, but yeah.
Okay.
And I like that one. I was like, but that thing was gigantic. I'm like, wow, I can't. And now and that was like for a full keyboard. And now we have handheld consoles that are like that big, which is ridiculous. And that was a full size keyboard sitting in there.
We need to stop.
So I could play Final Fantasy online.
If I'm genuinely sitting down with something in my hands, like first of all, if it's handheld, I want it to be like portable. Like these things are only like play in bed on the couch type devices. But if I'm like a real handheld, like PSP is as big as I want it. Come on, guys.
Yeah, like if I'm on the move and like, I don't want all that. Give me a break.
Last nail in the coffin of Xbox here, which is already dead because Halo is on PlayStation. Is Steam Console going to replace what the Xbox was, which was basically a place to play PC games on a TV?
Yeah. Yes.
So they had the original. They're called Steam machines. They had the original one, which was basically just like, I don't know, we're gonna brand Steam on some regular ass computers. But since then, their own operating system has gotten way better, and they're making their own hardware, which I think is going to make it tremendously more popular, especially because the Steam Deck is already a huge success.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't the Steam Deck already just connect to your TV though? So why do we need branded hardware? I don't know.
Well, Steam Deck is not that powerful. But also it doesn't come with a nice dock. Like maybe it has HDMI out, but people are really lazy and they just want the easiest thing. And you know that. If people have to take 10 more minutes to figure something out, they won't. But if they see like, this is the thing where I play Steam games on my TV, then they'll just do that.
Carly got me one and it came with a dock, a couple years ago, 2 years ago, I think.
Is there an official Steam Deck dock? Oh my God, there is. $79 accessory. Look at that thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it was an official one.
There is an official one. But
I don't know if mine is official.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, now I can finally play Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. And then they're like, here, hold on, we got a physical release. And I was like, oh, never mind. I'll just play.
Here, I guess the problem is, I mean, maybe I'm not representative of an average consumer. I don't think of a Steam Deck like a Nintendo Switch, and I'm primarily a PC gamer. Like I use my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And I don't think of it like a Switch when it has a dock that essentially turns it exactly into a Nintendo Switch, and I don't know how many people actually use it.
Oh, probably not that many. And when I do use it, I don't use it docked. I normally have just sitting on the couch with it.
Okay. Oh man, so you just like plug a cable in and use it as a controller for the TV?
No. I just use the screen that's sitting there.
Oh yeah, because that's the easy thing to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I usually put television on in the background. I'm like watching something else. I'm like, I'll just do this.
Johnny, the next news item.
Okay.
So Xbox is dead. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. I don't know if you've seen this in the year of our Lord 2025. Video game prices are up. Mario Kart on the Nintendo Switch 2, fucking $80.
Okay, seems reasonable.
That's a lot. Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems reasonable. I know. Right. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that comment. Why does it seem reasonable? Let me justify this. Because video games have been the same price for a very long time, and video games are very expensive to make.
Mm-hmm. But they also have increasing sales, which makes the cost per unit go down. And these are like incredibly profitable companies making these games.
Also, the cost of everything has gone up, and these are primarily Japanese companies having to import into America. Like there's just everything has been a logistical nightmare. And yes, I understand that every company in the whole world right now, just every one of them, and like every restaurant, they're all like, oh, tariffs and everything is so much harder and everything's up. So we moved our prices up 30%. And I'm just like, well, if everything on average went up 15%, how did your price go up 30%? I have questions and I'm annoyed by this. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think we were at what, $60 games? 80 is maybe too much. Maybe that's too steep of a jump, but I get that games like went up. Like we were at 60 for what, over 10 years. Now it like went to 80. Maybe that was too far. Maybe 70 would have been fine, but we are cresting into the spot where you can't get like, remember you just be like, oh man, got 2 games for $100, but also nobody's like, very few people, I should say. Maybe it's not even very few. Like, are people not waiting for sales? Like, where are these people paying $80 for a game? I
almost never buy a game. Like, besides like Zelda and Mario games, like I don't buy anything at launch. I guess there are people who would do the same for Mario Kart, but like regular ass AAA releases, like all of those tank in price in 2 years. I'll just play the games I didn't play from 2 years ago.
Less than that. Like, the Target had a Mario sale on Mario Day, March 10th for all you out there. And a bunch of games that I had not bought were on sale and they were all like 30% off. I was like, all right, now I'll pick some of these up. Cool.
I mean, the monoculture is dead. It's not like I can instantly talk with everybody about the big new $80 game. So I might as well go 2 years back, play those games. And then I've had more people I could talk about it because more people have played older games.
Yeah, this, like you said, the monoculture is dead. More independent games are out. More people are playing on mobile, on Steam, all like independent system. People like in television are spread out all over the place for their entertainment choices. They are all over the map. There's more choice than we've ever had. And the need to like rush out and buy something the day it comes out, unless I've been fanboying for it for a long time, is really not there.
I think this sucks. That prices are going up. Like even the Nintendo Switch 2 at $500 when is the Nintendo Switch 2 a new console? Nintendo Switch 2 is like it's a pretty boring Nintendo console. After a series of really, really wacky consoles, we're really going back to, all right, it's basically a GameCube. It's exactly what you would expect. Like Switch was cool because it was a new thing, and now it's like, all right, we've had 7 years of Switch, and now you're just giving us the Switch Pro and pretending it's a new console.
They should have done more on the screen. Like I understand they were like cutting costs and stuff, but they did not do enough. There's more they could have done to make people more excited about this.
Also $500 and it's not an OLED screen. Get the fuck out of here, Nintendo.
Yeah, it's again, how much more would that have cost? Like, and people like say things like that, like, oh, how much more would that have cost? I don't think it was actually the cost being the prohibitive thing. I think it was the sourcing being prohibitive.
I think people would pay an extra, $50 for say an OLED screen. I mean, obviously not everybody, but they would pay more for the OLED screen, but then you wouldn't buy an entirely another Switch 2 when they come out with the OLED model. It's such an easy upgrade for them.
That's true.
Right. Johnny, what else? I think the Steam winter sale that just happened had the lowest number of all-time low prices ever. So this is a brief anecdote, but I think this has been a significantly worse than normal Steam winter sale. I saw multiple people complaining about that. And I know people kind of complain about every Steam sale and say they haven't been as good as they used to be. And I totally agree with that. I don't think Steam sales have really been shit for 15 years. I think Steam is riding off goodwill that they built in like the 2000s and early 2010s. And people still act like they're basically giving away games for free. And they're fucking not. Like, on my wish list, like almost everything was 20 to 30% off, which like, yes, it's nice to get a few bucks off a game I was going to buy anyway, but people post these images where there's like, oh, everything 90% off, 75% off, 66% off. That's not what Steam sales fucking are anymore. And this one was, I think, significantly worse than normal. So prices are up. Yeah, we got tariffs now. Fuck. Even importing shit from Japan is up. That affects us as collectors too. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about that. Like, what does that world look like? Ugh. Not great. Don't love it.
Fuck video games. And I do want to say, going back to but they cost more to make. I think they should be more. There are games that clearly I think aren't full effort games, and I'm gonna put Mario Kart World in this, but I haven't played Mario Kart World. But YouTube has me on the hater train for Nintendo Switch 2 games. Pokemon Z-A. Very clearly not a game that had the same amount of effort put into it as, say, Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is a much bigger open world game. As far as I understand, Arceus, much bigger, more exciting game than ZA, a game that like doesn't even have interiors and takes place in one city. I think bigger games should be allowed to cost more. I think if GTA 6 comes out and costs $100, just looking at just the trailers for that game is so obviously worth $100. Based on other games like now costing $80, GTA 6 is probably worth $200. And I think that's perfectly fine. I think Last of Us 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, like these kinds of games I think should cost premium prices. But I don't think that the next fucking console Bomberman game should cost $80. It's fucking stupid.
Well, no, and they aren't priced like that. So if Mario Kart was 80, then like when I looked at Metroid Prime and like that game was not $80. So what are we talking about here?
I mean, we do have some differentiation like between prices, but
I agree with you.
It could be a lot bigger, general. I think.
Like I'm looking at Hades 2. Hades 2 is $50 at Target right now, not on sale, just $50. You can pick up a Switch 2 with Mario Kart in it for $500. Super Mario Party Jamboree is $80, and that comes with Jamboree TV. DK
Super Mario
Bonanza
Party Jamboree is $80. Who is spending $80 on that?
I don't know. Donkey Kong Bonanza $70.
Don't you think Donkey Kong Bonanza should cost $10 less than Mario Party?
I'm not saying anything.
I know, but some Nintendo exec thinks that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Pokemon Z to A, that's $70. But you know what's $80? Mario Kart World. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, which is crazy because it's the Switch 2 edition. They add Star-Crossed World onto it. They just tacked more onto that, and it's an $80 game. This was like a $30 Switch 2 game, or a Switch 1 game not so long ago. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment is $70. Tears of the Kingdom is $80, which is wild.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, just a wild. Breath of the Wild is $70. Make Tears of the Kingdom also $70. What are we doing here? The
GameCube and Switch versions of Twilight Princess came out like 3 days apart for the same price, and this is coming out years later for an increased price.
Yeah, look, that's the kind of stuff. Again, this is just like some head scratching decisions that, will get you bad press. Like, again, I agree with you. Some games should just be like your GTAs. Sure, I get it. Make that game $100. Seems right. This stuff, Metroid Prime 4, $70.
Right.
SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide, $40. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, that's $40. So, I mean, again, there's variations in this. Hey, Star Wars Outlaws, $40. Yakuza, $40.
What's Star Wars? This is a Switch 2 game?
Yeah, these are Switch 2 games.
Star Wars FIFA Outlaws,
$70.
Yeah. That's like a last generation game, isn't it? Or that's a last year game. All right.
Yeah. Split Fiction, that's $40. And again, I'm not differentiating between code or game key. I'm not looking that hard. Hogwarts Legacy is $60. Mortal Kombat is $60. So they're Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is $30 on the Switch too. Damn, that's a price and a half. That's a game key card. There you go.
All right, maybe the Steam sale wasn't that bad, guys. I'm looking at my wish list and I'm like, oh, this is still $25. Who has $25 for one video game?
So,
but you can go on Steam or GOG and go get Brigand Oaxaca right now for like $7.
You can.
You'll love it. You won't be able to spell Oaxaca because it's Oaxaca, but you'll figure it out.
You'll be so proud of me, Tyler. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, the HD remake, came out on the Switch 2.
And
do you know where I got it? I got it on the Switch 1 because that game is on that card.
That's an interesting reason to buy it on the Switch 1 to Switch 2. Also, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake. I'm sure the remake has like 3D good graphics, but shit, that doesn't seem like something I need the power of the next generation for.
No, and it was $60, but it's a game key card. And I was like, you know what? If it's just going to be a download, I'll just download it. If I'm going to own this stupid thing, I want to own it.
So you have a Switch 2. There's a Switch 2 version of the game, but you bought a Switch 1 game. Isn't that like a fucking problem? That should not be happening.
Again, game key card versus like if the game was on this card, I would have bought it. I'm a game collector, so the collector brain just comes in and I'm like, and you know me, I'm like, well, there's a game cartridge, and I think there's some value to still collecting this thing, but also it makes it uglier. Like one of my primary objections to the game keycard thing is the giant thing that says game keycard. Like they're giving you the insult right up front, and it tells you like how much I need to download. Also, I don't want a game keycard because now everything I look at, like now I got to become a storage manager and like how many
exactly why we shouldn't have downloadable games, because games are like 100 fucking gigabytes. I don't want to be like, oh, what do I have to keep downloaded onto my console? And I'm sure every console I've ever owned, the download speeds are fucking atrocious. Steam, I'm getting 100 megabytes a second downloading, and I go on to like my Switch, and it's like, hold on, let me download this Super Mario Maker 2 level. It's 100 kilobytes. It's gonna be a few seconds.
Anyways, interesting. Yeah, like also putting a QR code. Someone needs to go back to the visual design of games and just be like, put all this kind of shit on the back of the box and make like, I don't want to see this on the front of my game. I want to see a nice looking game. I guess we run into this problem now that games are like all locked up because they're so expensive. But this is a game key card. So is this even a problem? Like, put that information on the back, or make it an icon. I don't need to see a giant white bar. Remember we talked about that on Switch 1? They put that giant band up at the top, that ugly ass white band. I'm like, this is so ugly. It makes me not want to collect it. And I think objectively, the Switch 2 cases look pretty cool in red. Like, this is a cool console. We got like all these red boxes. I think this might look cool on a shelf, have some flair. And instead, I'm like, ugh, they made the front of this a little ugly unnecessarily. Granted, I'm only ever going to see the spine, but still, I dislike it. Dislike.
All right, Johnny, not a Switch 2 episode. Do you have any other news that would affect collectors from this year?
Yep.
What?
No.
Like real gaming news, not game collecting news. We'll get to the game collecting stuff.
Game collecting news. Here's going to be a thing. Well, let's just do a quick take on this. The video game awards. You saw the video game awards?
No, I did not watch the video game awards.
You didn't watch
as
them?
far as
Why
I understand,
not?
Claire Obscure won everything.
They did, except they removed it winning like Game of the Year or something because it used AI assets like before production, like pre-assets, as placeholders.
Hey, Johnny, as the biggest AI hater on this podcast of two people, it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I'm glad you're with me on this because this is so fucking stupid. Where do we draw the line? Hey, did anybody have any Copilot licenses that worked on any video game? Should we start retracting all of that shit? Did any of these people ever sign into ChatGPT? We better start stripping awards. You just look fucking stupid. Like, we're going to draw we support artists. Okay. I get it. But honestly, fuck off for this. Just, you look like a bunch of assholes, and all the people smugly clapping to themselves about this. Shut up. Just go back in your holes. No one likes you. You're not fun at parties. We're all tired of you. Get out.
So Steam really likes being pro-consumer, kind of the only video game company with like good support and things like that. And they have a tag now that it's like AI generated assets in this game. You have to like tag your game. And of course people love it. They're like, yeah, I love knowing what shit's in my game. But like you said, like, okay, so are we counting games that use Copilot? Because guess what? Everybody fucking uses AI to code everything now. Even if it's, even if they don't completely vibe code shit, but like regular developers, it's a fucking tool they use now. The problem isn't the concept of AI, of machine fucking learning at any level. The problem is if somebody is making avatars for their game and they just type into Google, whatever, the nano banana, they're like, make this shitty avatar, and it comes up with shitty stock garbage art. And you look at it and you're like, oh, that's fucking AI art. I hate this because AI art looks bad. It's not the tool it's using. You hate the slop. If you can't tell the difference without looking at it, then you don't actually care. And I get there's some portion of people that hate the concept of like machine learning because like, oh, they've stolen everything from real artists.
Tyler, this is one of the things I like about you. As much as I know that you hate AI and everything to do with this, that you still forced yourself to have a reasonable take. So I appreciate that about you.
Because it's a fucking tool. It's like,
I know.
Fuck.
I agree.
It's not even in the game. They used it in pre-production, which every company still does. And they all use it in their fucking code. What are we talking about? Who did they give a new Game of the Year award out?
I don't fucking know.
Because if they did, developers at that company are like, oh shit, hope they don't look into us.
Yeah. It reminds me very much of the Tour de France when they, again, not advocating for Lance Armstrong here. But they stripped Lance Armstrong of his title because they found out he had steroids or whatever, right?
They gave it to the next guy who uses steroids.
Yeah, but they didn't test everybody, so they don't know what. And if you don't know about cycling, especially in that era, everybody was on steroids. It was ridiculous to be like, I can't believe this guy used steroids. The rest of them are like, yeah, that guy on his steroids is bad, right, guys? Right, guys. Like this. Get out of here. Nonsense.
Johnny,
This
we
very
are
much smacks of the same thing.
we're stripping Hulk Hogan of his WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and we're giving it to Andre the Giant, man who is not on drugs.
How about no? Let's be more obvious. Let's give it to Macho Man.
Yes, Randy Savage, guys. WrestleMania 5 main event. All right.
Let's do what we actually do on this program and talk about collecting video games.
Can I just say, I just got an email. I bought 2 air filters, 1 engine filter, 1 cabin filter on eBay from different sellers, and both of them tried to get me to cancel my order because they had fake listings, and they were basically asking me to... So I bought like the brand name, and they're like, oh, it's out of stock. Can I ship you the shitty Chinese one? When I bought like the most expensive ones of each. They're like, oh, can we ship you a $2 AliExpress one instead? And I said no. And then they both sent me instructions on how to cancel my own order as if I ordered the wrong part.
You're like, no, ship it to me or else.
No, then they're going to ship me the off-brand one. I'm going to deal with like a stupid eBay return.
No, let them do it and then file a claim that they intentionally sent you the wrong item.
No, and I already canceled one, and the guy is still asking me to ship the other one because he doesn't realize I canceled it. It's just like...
He can cancel it on his end. If they want to cancel it, then cancel it. Also, here's a moment of let me help you outside of video games. Hey guys, you ever been to a dealership, Jiffy Lube, whatever, and they're changing your oil and they tell you, oh man, it's going to be $100 to change your filter? Never, ever say yes. You can do this yourself. This is a thing that you, your wife, your girlfriend, your disabled neighbor can probably do themselves. Okay, please help the people not pay Jiffy Lube or dealerships $100 to change a cabin air filter or your internal. All the filters are all like $20 on Amazon. You can put your car model into Amazon and it will make sure you buy the right filters. And then you just buy them and you go, and it's like one wing nut on top of your engine block that you just drop a filter in, and then you go in your glove compartment, open it up. There's a little hatch. You pull that off, and there's another filter in there that you push in. You can do all of this yourself. It's going to take you 10 minutes to watch the YouTube video one time, and it's going to be 5 minutes of your time each time after that. Don't get bullshitted into paying for people to change your filters. Please don't. Just do it yourself. I promise any of you can do this. Watch one video. I'm going to save you hundreds of dollars over the course of your life by just knowing this one simple hack, which is unscrew a wing nut yourself. You can do it. You just need to know where it is. And a video will tell you that for free.
All right, better advice if you suck at maintaining your car. Hey, your engine has an air intake filter. You got to change that. It's like $10. Go get one. It's really easy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yes, change that. All of these things. Change
also,
them
your
yourself.
cabin filter, you disgusting piece of shit. You haven't changed that in 75,000 miles. Go get a nice activated carbon one. Put some, put some baking soda on that so it absorbs the smells. It's going to be nice. We're going to make your car smell nice.
Yep. Yeah, and if you were in a pinch and you haven't changed your engine air filter, like at least open it up and like knock some of that dirt out. You are really killing your gas.
If you're opening it up, just change it. It's a cheap part.
Yeah,
John,
I'm just saying.
Move on with the episode.
Anyways,
also the trim, the window molding around your car that deteriorates in like 10 years. You got to get new window trim on like where the windows go down. Otherwise, water's gonna get in your car. It's gonna fuck up your locks and shit. Just go replace all that too. Like $40 gets you a new set on eBay.
Anyways, this has been Fix Your Life tips from Johnny and Tyler. All right. 2 guys that you don't picture wrenching on a car giving you car advice. Great.
Tyler,
let's do it.
There's so many places we could start here. The next thing I have is GameCube. Whatever. I'm just going to do this in the order we wrote it down because we're just going to talk sealed stuff. What happened in the sealed market, Johnny?
Do you give me what happened in the sealed market, and then I will give you a broad overview of what systems have done if they went up or down this year compared to the last year.
All right. Johnny, the Heritage auction sales were kind of notably down last year, and just a quantity of lots sold It was around 12,000 in 2022, 13,000 in 2023, and it went all the way down to 7,000 last year. And this year we also had about 7,000. I think it ticked slightly up. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of garbage that kind of filters through. It's not like 7,000 amazing fucking games, but it's not going down anymore. I guess that's something. I don't think there was a single standout sale this year. Like some years we have like, a NWC Gold sold privately for $450,000, or a fucking $1 million Mario, and private sale of another Super Mario Brothers for $2 million. There's nothing crazy. Maybe there was, and I'm just forgetting a private sale or something.
Video games are dead. It's dead.
Video games are dead. The biggest sale in Heritage Auctions was a first print Zelda for $300,000, a 9.4 A+ first print Zelda. $300,000.
Down, right?
I mean, it's definitely down from like 2021, 2022 prices. I don't know what to think about it. I think it might be the best possible video game to own. So I don't know what to think about it. Because, like, all right, obviously I personally think that the Japanese one is superior, but that's not what the real world is going to think. So in terms of the real world, you can't have a first print sealed Super Mario Brothers because there isn't one. You can have a first print NES Zelda. There's a few of them, and this is one of the nicest ones in the world. And 9.4 A+, there's kind of nothing to be sad at. You have like an A seal on anything, it's like, oh, this kind of sucks. I don't want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for an A seal. But 9.4 A+, it's like not the most mint, but neither of those grades is bad. And it only sells for $300,000. I don't know. I don't think this is a bad sale, but it's just kind of whatever. It's kind of like what I would have expected, probably.
Okay.
And like a second print sold for like $800,000 a couple of years ago. So this guy got a much better deal.
Yeah, he did.
The other sale that people were talking about this year that I saw was a 9.4 A+ hang tab Super Mario Brothers for $175,000. And I remember a lot of people saying this was a disappointment. And after this sale, Greg and Henry had a podcast episode, the Cheat Code Weekly podcast on the Get the Greg Games YouTube channel, where they had a really long, serious discussion acting like video games were dead and no one is coming into this market and there aren't people in the high end that are pushing prices to ridiculous levels anymore. Mind you, this is $175,000 for a Super Mario Brothers, which I remember it was either 2019 or 2020, a very similar sale. It was another sealed hang tab Super Mario Brothers sold for $30,000, and it was fucking insanity at the time. And now it's $175,000, and it's like, guys, it's over. But I think most people were all the price estimations were well above $200,000 for this, I think.
Pack it up, boys. It's over.
Yeah. And a few other games in the $100,000 range. You had the first print Pokemon Blue, a couple Pokemon Reds, the Left Bros Super Mario Brothers, the stuff you would expect to be up there, and then a bunch of $50,000 stuff, a freaking Clue Land, a mint Chrono Trigger, a mint Final Fantasy 3, a mint Mario Kart 64. I'm going to call a bad sale. Don't spend $50,000 on a Mario Kart 64. I don't care how nice it is. It's Mario Kart 64. A game I like, I just don't, there's no historical significance. It does not make sense. It's millennial nostalgia, that's it.
But the battles, dude, the battles.
Dude, the battles are good. It's a good game. It's got good tracks. It feels good. It's not worth $50,000.
Disagree. Spending all my money right now.
Someone spent $50,000 on a purple GameCube. I think it was a first
thing you could buy.
GameCube. That's a lot of money. That was killing the SNES sales. That was killing the NES console sales. A purple fucking GameCube, dude.
Sure is a thing you could spend money on.
There was a Fortnite Perfect 10 for the Xbox, a dead console and dead brand, but we're gonna spend $50,000 on Fortnite for the Xbox. That seems like a bad sale too.
Yeah.
And You know what? You could probably go watch Get the Greg Games and he'll have a better recap of sealed stuff because I only check Heritage Auctions. Do you know why? Because I want it. I do this all the time. I only talk about Heritage Auctions because most of the good stuff ends up on Heritage or Golden. And I go to the Golden Auctions sold listings and you can't sort by video games. You have to go through all of their auctions and they combine sports cards, comic books, and video games. And I just look at it and I'm like, I'm not sorting through all this shit. I don't care. Golden, what are you doing? You look at Heritage's website. It makes it easy for someone who doesn't care to like filter out stuff pretty easily. So I don't care, Golden.
Well, when video games are dead, what are you going to do?
I mean, sports cards aren't dead, are they?
No, I think sports cards did well this year.
Come on, Golden. Get a grip. Heritage is increasing their video game buyer's premium to $49 a game minimum. So I think they charge a 20% buyer's premium when you buy anything from them. And this is usually where I say to go look at Heritage is for like, sometimes they'll have like a sort of mid game as a mint complete in box. And you just look at it and you're like, no one looking at Heritage fucking auctions is here to buy a 9.4 CIB Magic of Scheherazade. And it's like, damn, that thing might sell for like $60. And now there's going to be a $50 premium on top of that. Before the minimum premium was $29. And this basically applies to games that are under $250. Because once you're over that, you're going to start spending a lot more for the buyer's premium. It just sucks. It just basically means that the cheap stuff that I tell people to go get on Heritage because it slips through the cracks, it's not going to be there as much. Like the worst game you could think of will now be like $100 because it's going to be the price plus at least $50 plus tax plus shipping. It sucks. It's probably because they don't want to deal. They sometimes get these lots of like people will send them like 30 Atari games or something. And they just look at it and they're like, we're not going to sell 30 individual Atari games. And they just shove it all into a lot because they don't want to deal with it. They did that a lot when they had Apple II games. They just made multiple lots. Here's a lot of 30 sealed Apple II games. Here's a lot of 17 sealed Atari 400 games. We don't want to sell this shit. Why are you sending this shit to us to sell? So they don't want your cheap stuff. They want more $1.5 million items and less of the stupid bullshit video games, guys. Come on. Why?
Yeah, they don't want to individually pack each one of these things.
Very interestingly, Johnny, I found a Yahoo Sports article which had quotes from a bunch of top collectibles companies. Among those quotes on a Yahoo Sports article, we had Kenneth Thrower, director of grading CGC Video Games, and Claire Shelton, head of video games at PSA, which used to be WADA. Kenneth said, in video games, we've seen a rise of complete in box and card only grading as sealed items rise in value and become harder to find. Is that a true statement or a hopeful statement?
Yeah, that sounds like like speak it into existence, please. Because
I mean, I don't know if sealed stuff is rising in value right now. I mean, people think sealed stuff is in the doldrums, and by doldrums they might mean 2020 prices, but 2020 prices are the doldrums for some games. And dude, a rise in cart only grading? Like, what was the cart only grading situation ever? I've seen people grade like nice Legend of Zelda cartridges because those are very condition sensitive, but like, who the fuck? No one has graded cartridges.
I mean, maybe it becomes one of these things that happens. Because there's a lot of toys out there, right? Like action figures that get like loose graded action figures. Maybe this is an emerging market and this will be the way that they convince people like, hey, don't worry about having everything. The game is the actual thing you want. So like, let's start grading those.
So let's talk about that, Johnny. Because
if
Claire,
I was a grading company, that's what I would be doing.
So Claire is taking the opposite route. If you're taking these quotes as marketing, which I think we should take them as a heavy dose of marketing, they're giving a quote to a news company. They said, in 2025, we saw a significant increase in case pack submissions from dealers and individual submitters alike, whether in pursuit of pristine 10 grades, securing a copy of the latest release, or the hype cycle of a new console like the Switch 2, which both seems like a much more honest quote. I mean, it just seems and they want you to send them Switch 2 games. But that's a much more honest take on what's happening. It's like, people are just sending us like 40 games of the same game to grade at a time, hoping that we'll give them 10s. That's like a kind of candid, like that is very believable. But saying that like, cart only grading is really on the upswing, Kenneth, I love you, but like that's not. I don't believe that is a market trend.
Let's be generous. I can say that both things could be true, and they are company dependent. If you have staged your company, like PSA is definitely a place where I'd be sending case pack stuff because like they deal with that with not cards, but like that's how you would deal with cards. Like you fresh from the pack and you're like trying to send in bulk submissions. PSA does a lot of that in the way their company is set up. I think speaks to that. So maybe where Kenneth is, maybe they have marketed more to cart only people and then thus made it easier for them. So I'm going to be generous and say both things could be true. But if I'm going to say what I think is more prevalent, I'm going to look over at what Claire said. And that feels more in line with what I've seen than
sure
the other way.
And I'd agree with that. And I also think if I was running a grading company, the thing I would prioritize is getting people to send me stuff that is coming out new in stores. Because even if people are grading Complete in Box and cartridges, there are still only so many Complete in Box games and cartridges that will ever be worth grading. Like, I don't care what you say, if you have a 6.0 copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES, no matter how big video games could possibly get, that will never be worth fucking grading.
No.
But if people want a 9.88++ Super Mario Kart World or a 10 Super Mario Kart World, I would try to push people to get interested in that, even if I personally think it's fucking trash.
If I was running a grading company, I would be working hard at getting people to grade cart only stuff. And I would have special carts or special cases that are designed with them. Like if you look at like, what's it called? CGC, when they had their stuff and they like, when they have like a special Spider-Man label, I would be working on that kind of stuff for NES, maybe custom backs, like custom backers and custom front labels and special tags. I would really be pushing, and I'd have sales. Again, I would try to make that as desirable as possible because there are millions and millions of NES, Super Nintendo cartridges, Genesis cartridges that you could get people to send you, right? If I'm looking at a market that is available where like, also, if I'm a grading company, I don't want to encourage people to send in CIBs. CIB is a nightmare.
Yeah, CIB is probably terrible to grade.
That's it's you probably have to charge less and it's more work. Like what are we talking about? No, thanks.
They charge more for it. It's just, I'm sure even though they charge more, they don't want to do it because it's so labor intensive compared to everything else.
Yeah. And knowing exactly like, cause you saw they put in the guides of like, oh, we know people are getting sent back. Oh, you have imps here or isn't 100% complete. Like
it's not only more labor, it's also way more knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. All of that. CIB, the worst value proposition in the world for a grading company. Sealed and carts, perfect. One and done it. Like make cards appeal the same way like raw cards do and like get people to start flipping those in. I would be everything I attend. If I'm them, I'm buying and making all these custom labels, buying up the best ones I can find, making it look really shine. And when I'm going to conventions, I'm showing people, talking about, how much people have paid, how the market is going up. I would be all over that nonstop. And again, if I'm PSA, and I'm Claire, I'm definitely talking about case packs. Oh yeah, the new Switch 2 just came out. People want to make sure that they've got their initial run in 10s of all the launch titles. Absolutely.
Yep, and I would be on Reddit making fun of you for your stupid company.
Oh yeah, 100%. But if you work in these businesses, I think that's what you have to be doing.
So, a cartridge of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is $10. Complete in Box, $100. Let's say that. So let's say a nice cartridge. You're gonna have to probably go through multiple cartridges to find one worth grading. And I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure the people who are actually into this are like, no, it's actually almost impossible to find a cartridge worth grading because actually they're all kind of fucked up. Fuck you. Let's say you buy 5 cartridges or whatever to find one worth grading. You have to take that cartridge. You have to convince someone that they'd rather own a cartridge in a fancy box than just a complete in box copy of the game, because it's going to cost you what, $20-$30 to grade, maybe $30 minimum to grade something, plus 2-way shipping. By the time you go through that, plus it's going to be like weeks until you get your stupid cartridge back. And you could have just bought a complete in box copy of the fucking game. I think almost anybody would rather have a complete in box copy over a graded cartridge.
But once you get into the idea, again, once we sell people on the idea of conditional grading and like, oh, but this got a 10, you own a pristine cartridge. This is the thing. The game is the thing. The manual isn't the thing. The box isn't the thing. This is the game. This is what the real nostalgia is right here. And you can see it. This is the thing you remember. People don't remember holding the box. They remember holding the cartridge. This was, if I'm marketing it, this is how I'm selling it, and I'm pushing it as hard as I can. I would do my damnedest to make that fancy. And yes, I would be like, oh, sure. Yeah, it costs you that much, but who's got a 10 of this? Who knows what that CIB you got? Oh, cool. It's got a 6.5 card in there. That's real nice. You've got the 10. Like, I wouldn't, again, and there's enough of them that people could be sending in multiples of them trying to fish for a 10, right? Well, that's, again, you start working that grade, like, oh, here's a 9.2, a 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, and this is a 10. You start working that grade range, and you get people suddenly paying for the very few 10s. I would be very stingy on my 10s, and I would make people, like, you would just start making people quest for grades.
All right, Johnny, I'm going to skip ahead to the future predictions part of the podcast and say future prediction, graded cartridges will not become a popular thing, no matter how well Johnny markets them.
So you agree the market...
Graded CIB, I think, I think it's not great. I'd just as happily just own a mint condition game, but I understand the appeal of not dealing with wondering like, oh, is this going to ship correctly? Are they going to fuck it up? Am I going to open it and something's going to be wrong in it? I just see like all the numbers and I'm like, all right, everything's above like a 9. This is a super mint game. Perfect. I understand the appeal of people who collect that. And that is super niche. That is so niche because once people are spending a big premium for that, it's not that much more to just say like, well, I might as well just spend a few $100s and get it sealed. Yeah,
but what if I told you I could grade your cart for $25?
That's still too much. Games are too cheap. It's not worth it.
$25. Look, and if you send in multiples, we start giving you multiple discounts. If you only want the highest grade one slabbed, come back. I'll grade the rest of them. We'll baggy them, and I'll tell you what the grades were, and we'll let you keep only the highest grade one that you wanted.
Johnny, word on the street is that Nintendo games do not sell that well in game stores anymore. And now you're gonna put them in fancy plastic trading card cases and have them marked up to like $100 each.
I read this quote and I don't agree.
All right. When was the last time you went and bought NES games at a game store?
I have a complete NES set, so I don't need to do that.
Because the NES collectors have everything they want, so they don't need to go to game stores anymore. And you look at new collectors, or not new, current collectors, and they're buying DVD games.
Hold on. You look. One, you are being wild right now, so settle down. Okay, just settle yourself down. You are taking this quote and wrapping it in a bunch of bullshit. So let's go. Someone's personal experiences. They've been down to LA video game stores, and this is coming from Video Game Sage, that some store owner told them that NES is one of their worst selling items currently. One, I don't believe that because they probably don't stock all the other stuff that just doesn't sell. So grain of salt here, right? I'm sure they're not looking at it in television and going, man, Intellivision is outselling NES carts all day long. And if they did, it was because they had a bin of Intellivision carts for, $10 and someone came in and bought them. This is just like, I don't necessarily agree. And also what is the game store? What are the qualifications? Are these CIB? Are these cart only? What is the quality? Are these all commons? Again, I need more context to know what kind of game store this is, and again, I live in the LA area. You could tell me the name of the game store, and I can tell you what that store specializes in and what the market around that store looks like too, and what the people around that area are buying. And if that makes sense, are people like, again, are collectors trending a little younger right now? Are the boomers boomering themselves out? Sure. Younger collectors, again, GameCube started going up, and Xbox 360 started to have its moment. So yeah, those younger collectors are getting money the same way N64 had its time. Things will always climb the ladder as time moves on, but are we to the point where NES is not popular? I don't know if we've hit that point. That's the thing I disagree with.
I'm sorry to tell you, old man, we're at the point. And you know what? I could give you more proof, and you're going to say, oh, these are specialty stores. There are two game stores that are very public on YouTube right now. They both just opened, and it's very clear to see what people are going in and buying. Especially K-Quarter, because he's shown his sales numbers before. And his sales are fucking GameCube.
But he doesn't specialize in NES.
See, he doesn't specialize in NES. Okay, so and now the Phoenix resale one, you're going to say he doesn't specialize in NES.
No, I'm going to say
both of these people
Phoenix
sell
resale
NES games.
Is much better. He doesn't sell NES games. Does it? Why? Do we know why?
What do you mean he doesn't sell NES games? Both of these stores have NES games. They just don't sell like GameCube
I thought
does.
No. I'm saying, did you just say he doesn't sell NES games?
No, they both sell NES games.
Okay.
So K-Quarter started with a really weak stock of Sega stuff. And I said he didn't sell Sega stuff, and he technically does. He just had garbage stock to begin with.
Okay.
And QuickLip sells everything, but NES is not the thing that sells in their store. You could go to their buy list. They have a buy list of stuff that they want to get in. And, dude, there's like 100 GameCube games, and it's like some NES Black Box games and Mario and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Tecmo Bowl, and only Mega Man 2. They don't want Mega Man 1. They don't want Mega Man 3. It's like they just have very specific things. They only want the NES games that could actually sell immediately. They don't want your Magic of fucking Scheherazade.
Of course they don't want that stuff. But if you look at the GameCube list too, I'm sure they're not like, give me all your GameCube bulk.
They're not like, give me all your GameCube bulk. You're right. But fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! False-Bound Kingdom is on there.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still a very popular card game.
Is that the sealed price? N? Does N mean sealed? N for new?
I do not know.
Oh, near mint. Oh, okay. These are conditional based.
Again,
Over the Hedge on GameCube is on their buy list.
Okay. Again, I'm not saying that that NES is the most popular thing selling. What I'm saying is when you say it's our least popular console,
I didn't say it's their least popular console. No, but I'm saying it's going down, and there's no way it comes back up.
That's not the argument I'm making.
All right.
The quote said least popular console, and that is the point where I said absolutely not disagree, because you don't stock everything. It's not like, oh, well, all these Intellivision games were really flying off the shelf. People love the Atari 5200. Like, come on. I know some people that would rather eat their thumbs off their hands than buy a 5200 game.
That's true. I think actually going on this Quick Flips, this hot list, the stuff that they want you to trade in is eye-opening from a game store perspective, because the stuff on their hot list means this is the stuff people come in and they ask for. It's the stuff that they could sell all day, every day. It's the stuff they want. And you could look at like the fucking Nintendo Wii. They've got like every Just Dance game on here. People come in and they buy Just Dance games, and they're not cheap.
Those games.
They're trade-ins for the Just Dance game. They're giving $32 as a trade-in for Just Dance 2020
because people are still playing Just Dance. Again, and that's what I also ask. What kind of? That's why I said, what is the context of these stores? What are they, a base that appeals to collectors?
Yes, they are, because people like Heck and Steve, as a collector, complain about Phoenix resale for ruining things for game collectors.
Heck and Steve is not a collector. Heck and Steve is a game player.
The Phoenix resales of the world, that content appeals to video game collectors. They do that stuff.
Some of those, but a lot of the stuff, again, when you bring up Just Dance, that's not for collectors, that's for players. So there is some math in here, and like, what do they want? Is like, especially in a world where it's still easier to play all these disc-based games than it is carts, those are probably going to move a little bit better. Video games should just be a digital medium.
Oh my God. People aren't going into like all the playable Game Boy games are the ones, and Pac-Man for some reason are the ones that they're on their buy list. But people aren't just buying Game Boy games to play them; they're buying them to collect them.
Okay.
What are we talking about? We were talking about these quotes from the...
Yeah, we just kind of derailed into this.
All right. Johnny, I was also going to talk about GameCube prices. It seems like a fine time to talk about GameCube prices.
Sure.
So you had some data that said GameCube prices had ticked slightly up. I had some data that said they had ticked very slightly down. At the very least, I think GameCube prices are flat, and that's after 5 straight years of them going to the moon, especially 2020, where they went up like 50% in 1 year.
Did they go to the moon over the last 5 years? Or did certain games go to the moon?
I think they went to the moon in 2020.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the price trend on it did from 2020, it went up, pretty good jump, medium jump in 23, actually after 23, GameCube went down a little. And then this year's slight tick up. So,
all right.
Yeah.
The data I was looking at had it going up every year until this year where it had the first tick down. But I realize
again,
it depends what day you're looking at. It depends these were Complete and Brock's like price charting prices. Also, if you go to the fucking price charting website, their graph is loose GameCube prices, so their graph is worthless. Because who the fuck is buying loose GameCube games?
I use that as a directional tool, not like you do have to download. And again, when we're going to talk about the prices of all these games and whether they've moved up or down, knowing again that we've used price charting and did not download the full price. I did this for a few years where I downloaded all of their data and then did summing and like removed consoles and everything and removed variants. I just did not do that for this episode. We have to do a deep dive in like per console when we do that, which we should be doing more, but I'll go and tell you the general status of the market. Again, with all the caveats that I just listed out, that it's price charting, and again, directional. And again, could be wrong. Also, I'm not in charge of price charting's data. I don't know when they change or fix something, because we saw last year, I colored this whole column red and wrote, what the F is going on with price charting data? Because clearly they were monkeying around with something and numbers were moving in ways that didn't make sense to me, or there was just whole swaths of missing data. And I don't know if they went back and fixed any of that. So, giant caveats. Are you ready to hear about Atari?
Oh, I thought I was talking about GameCube, but okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, GameCube ticked slightly up.
But I wanted to talk about some specific games that there were some trends I found interesting.
Okay. Sorry.
So very specifically, the top stuff has only continued to go up, and there have been a number of known and I guess quote unquote discovered rarities that spiked way up. Like 2020, they went like 10 times up in price and have only gone down since then. And I'm talking NCAA college basketball 2K3. Like, there were people who thought this was the rarest GameCube game like forever, 10 years ago.
Forever. It was the rarest game. Like, from
this
like
was on like blog posts of like
on.
What are the rarest video games of all time?
Yes. Yeah. This was the Grail GameCube game.
So this went up to $400 in the pandemic, and it has gone down to like $225. It's like halved in price since the pandemic highs. And that was something that was like already a known rarity. Groove Rider. That's like one of those games where it's like, oh, the people in the know, there's not that many copies of Groove Rider up there. So it went from $10 to $100 in 2020. And since then, it's been coming down to $40. So these are the games where people FOMO'd into them. And they're like, shit, if everybody buys GameCube games, there's not going to be any copies of Groove Rider. But guess what? Even after everybody buys out every copy of Groove Rider, they keep coming to the market, and people just aren't willing to pay $100 for fucking Groove Rider forever. Disney Sports Basketball peaked in 2023. Go-Go Hypergrind peaked in 2022. These are still very expensive games, but they've been coming down since their peaks. And then Cubivore and Pokemon Box, those have only gone up. And I think Cubivore technically had a peak in 2022, but it is still increasing in price because I think when people are showing off stuff on their shelves, that's the stuff that they face out. That's the stuff they put on the top shelf. If people buy a copy of Cubivore, that's like a top shelf game to a GameCube collector who is like, shit, I'm going to post this on Reddit. I'm going to get so much karma. But I think Go-Go Hypergrind is just a little bit more niche. It's not as exciting because it's like, it's the A- game, not the A game on the GameCube. Okay. And then you want to talk about Evolution Snowboarding, which we looked up because you love this game for some reason.
No, I don't love this. I just find this to be a weird game in the cycle of GameCube prices. This was a game that was always like $15, and maybe it was like 2018. I think it started to rise, or 15. But it went from like a $10 to $15 game up to like 50, 60, 70, 80. And now it sits between $80 and $100. And that price has been at about $100 since like 2022. Like since pandemic, it sat around this price and has not really gone down. It's like bumped up and down a little bit, some variance, you know?
Yeah.
But it has not, like all the other top stuff either kept going up or went down. This is one of the weird ones that has just stayed flat at a high price after people discovered it. And so, like this is a game that wasn't on anyone's list. Like when all the GameCube lists were being made, no one was like, oh shit, Evolution Snowboarding, make sure you go get a copy.
It is interesting. So I do think that the general trend of the rare and uncommon games I looked at was the top stuff is going up and kind of the B-list uncommon rare stuff, it spiked in pandemic and is going down. This is definitely a B-list uncommon rare type game that has only gone up, it's interesting. And it's, again, Evolution Snowboarding, a game nobody talks about. You have to be talking with a GameCube guy to care about that, and then they'll talk about, oh, fuck, Evolution Snowboarding. Well, I got my copy back in 2017 because I'm not a dumbass.
Yeah, let me go old man on you. Old man GameCube collecting looks like this. The most rare games are Metroid Prime and Zelda, NCAA basketball, and Pokemon Box. And then all of a sudden, the kids were like, nah, Grandpa, you forgot about Disney Sports Basketball. And they're like, oh, I don't know what that is. And then Pokemon Box came in there. NCAA fell off that list. And then they're like, yeah, and Groove Rider. Like, as the new kids came in, they're like, Groove Rider, Go-Go Hypergrind, and Cubivore were always like slightly a tier below this stuff. And then Evolution Snowboarding just kind of crept in there. I don't know what happened. Like, it's weird when games jump in and jump out like they have with GameCube.
Yeah, because you look at like the top NES stuff and that shit hasn't changed in 20 years.
Yeah. It's not like there was a lot of research done on the GameCube. There was people out there, Nintendo Twizzler, hey Aaron, out there, making lists in the early days, myself included. We're searching out rarities. We know, like, the GameCube depths are pretty well plumbed. We know all the weird variants, all the little bullshit that's included. The GameCube is a pretty dug out system. So for rarities to like switch up and down during this time is a bit bizarre. Like, if I was going to say what is the least plumbed depth of GameCube, it would be Player's Choice games, because I don't know if anyone has the best list of that out. I mean, obviously someone has a best list comparatively, but I don't know if there's the complete list of these were all definitely released and these ones are rare ones. Like, no one really did that the way they did Platinum Hits with Xbox, because I guess Player's Choice is just so stupid and ugly that people have avoided it.
Even like Disney Sports Basketball, we just kind of take for granted it's like $1,000 now. That game was nothing until the pandemic, and not nothing. It was still like obviously one of the upper uncommon games, but it's like a top game, $1,000 fucking dollars.
It's like number 2 game behind Pokemon Box. What happened?
It's ridiculous.
It went from not being in the top 20 to being number 2. What? How does that happen?
It's like stuff how like I can't get over how like Hagane is the top SNES game still. In my mind, Mountain Bike Rally Speed Racer is still the top SNES game, and that's like not even remotely true anymore.
So I mean, I guess we say that like, oh, when does this happen? But it did happen with Hagan, saying that way for you.
Thanks.
And perhaps Little Samson, because Little Samson was also one of these games that kind of but it's been an established rarity for so long now, but it did kind of come out of nowhere at one point and go from like desired to an upper tier, with Flintstones 2, like rarity out of nowhere.
I mean, maybe I'm just not as old as you, but I always remember Little Samson and Flintstones 2 being on top.
Well,
not
Flintstones
like Hagane. Hagane went from like mid-tier to number 1.
When we in our early days, Tyler, if you look back at our early days, 2004 to 2008, Little Samson had not crested that mountain yet. It was like growing as like the conversation around it had increased, but it like you could get it for $100 and then it went to 200, and like Little Samson had an epic climb where it just started to supplant things. We should go through and do like a retrospective on NES rarity and like how things moved and like what people think of games now versus what they did then. Who's out there looking at pro sports hockey being like, or not? Is it pro sports hockey? Is that the rare one, or is it the roller? Yeah,
that's like definitely a game. It's in like the Alex DeMio's Race America tier where it's like. Yeah. Everybody knows it's not the top game, and yet it's still like the last game everybody gets to complete their set.
Yeah. So I think that would be funny to do that. Like, let's go look at it. Everyone used to be like, oh my God, Bucky O'Hare. Is anyone talking about Bucky O'Hare anymore? I don't know.
I'm sorry, guys. Everyone's dying. No one even knows what a Bucky O'Hare is. Yep. You guys know it's not even just a video game, right? Like, guys, come on. Guys, remember the 80s?
Was it the 80s or the 90s? I don't even know.
I also just want to mention, since I was looking at GameCube prices, the DVD case, or what, GD-ROM, what is a GameCube disc called? The disc and case only of Pokemon Box was in like the mid 2000s, and there was just a decent complete in box one in like the 3000s. You gotta get that Pokemon Box big box, guys. You're already fucking up your budget. Just do it. And you'll never have to think about it again. It doesn't matter how shitty your box is. You'd rather have the box than not have the box. True. And it's only going up. I'm telling you, Cubivore and Pokemon Box are recession proof. So it's not like you're going to be losing money over time like you're some idiot buying a Go-Go Hyper Grind.
Financial advice from the Collector's
Financial advice. Pokemon Box can only go up. Also, I'm kind of shocked how common Pokemon Box sells as just the game in the case. Because like you think of it as like the rarest GameCube game, right? And I realize not the big box version, but just the regular version, like multiple times a month, constantly for sale. And then you go on eBay, it's like, shit, there's no good copies of Pokemon Box for sale.
So and what's interesting, I think, about Pokemon Box is now looking into the Pokemon community, right? People who collect the cards and stuff. No one gives a shit about Pokemon Box out there. You will see copies of the DS games. You will see copies of Red and Blue and Yellow. Like even Crystal I see out there in some people's videos, like in the background of their shelves. I've yet to see a Pokemon Box on any of these big Pokemon guys' shelves.
Guys,
so
what are you doing?
So is Pokemon recession proof or Pokemon Box recession proof when regular Pokemon collectors don't care about it? Maybe video game collectors need to tell them about that. So Pokemon Box goes to $10,000.
Go get your sealed Pokemon Box, everybody. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna move us on and talk about consoles just real quickly. Hey, Atari, up or down?
Up, right?
Down.
Damn it.
Slightly. Slight uptick down. NES, up or down?
Down.
Up, slightly.
All right. We're not doing good here.
A very
Sealed
slight
is
increase.
definitely down.
Yeah, sealed is definitely down, but carts only slightly up. SNES, up or down?
Up.
Slightly up, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. N64, up or down?
Up. You can't lose on N64. Come on.
Slightly up. GameCube, up or down?
I mean, we discussed it. You're going to say up. I'm going to say flat.
Slightly up. Okay. Wii.
Up.
Flat as a motherfucker. Goddamn the Wii. The Wii has been $10 on average a game forever. It's great. I love it. Wii U, up or down?
Up. People want the Wii U. I know people want Wii U games.
Way up. Wii U is percentage-wise our biggest climber in 2025.
All right,
what is
guys,
happening?
everybody, what is going? All right. We say, John, set collecting's dead, right?
Yes.
All right. One, set why is set collecting dead? One, because there's just less interest in the concept of physical media and set collecting sets and all that. But the number two reason set collecting is dead, The old-time set collectors, a lot of them have completed their sets. If you are collecting NES since 2006, you probably have most of the NES stuff you want. At the very, very least, you're not buying games like you were buying in 2009, getting 10 games a month to add to your collection, because there's only so many more NES games you could buy after 15, 20 years of collecting NES games. But if you're collecting the Wii U, you could buy the entire set in like a month! We're just talking about Pokemon Box. You know, instead of buying that the case-only copy of Pokemon Box, buy the entire Wii U set.
It's true. All right.
Like, you won't get the fucking Skylanders black and white stupid coloring box, but you could get the set. You don't consider that part of the set anyway. Just get the regular base set. You'll be fine. You'll be happy. You'll say you have a Nintendo set. That's what we all did. We all bought it because, like, oh, it's an entire set of Nintendo games. This is a nice novelty that I have this full set here. Am I going to play any of them? No, they're all on the Switch now.
Okay, moving on to the Switch now that you've brought it up. Remember, Switch, is this the final year of the Switch? Is this the sunset of it? Probably. But is it up or down in 2025?
Man, down?
Trick question, flat.
Okay.
Genesis, up or down?
Up?
Slightly up, yeah. Sega
That's
CD,
crazy.
up or down?
Oh, man. I'm going to say down. I think it's too obscure.
Up. Look, it peaked up in 2022 and dropped off massively, lost a third of its average value.
Oh, geez.
And had a nice little comeback this year, but still up, but still much lower than the peak of 2021 and 22, but higher than it was in 2020 now.
So I have a very small group of collectors I actually interact with. So, hey, if I interact with you, you're basically my only view into the market. But I see people in like our Discord and like the LJN Discord, like sometimes they're like posting some good Genesis games that they get. Man, I can't remember the last time I saw someone like, hell yeah, dude, I got like a Snatcher. Like, who, I can't. The person who's most excited about Sega CD, Final Fight CD, he has everything already. He's not posting new stuff that he's getting. Who's still buying Sega CD games? Someone post a Snatcher. Someone get me excited to talk about some Sega CD stuff.
I bought like 5 Sega CD games this year.
You got that? Do you get that version 2 Bram Stoker's Dracula this year?
I did. Well, I don't know if I got this or last year. I think I got that last year, but I did buy that. But I got that nice copy of Jaguar.
Hell yeah! Oh, dude. Oh man, I meant to talk to that guy from Midwest. Oh, whatever. Midwest is coming up in a couple months. Maybe I'll find some nice Sega CD games.
You'll be back. All right, Sega Saturn, up or down?
If Sega CD is up, Saturn has to be up.
Slightly up, less than Sega CD is up.
All right.
Dreamcast, up or down?
I don't know, man. Who cares about the Dreamcast? All right.
Flat. TurboGrafx 16, up or down? Down, it is down.
Who cares about TurboGrafx?
PS1, up or down?
Oh, hold on. Didn't the fucking analog PC Engine come out this year? Or was that last year? Either way, TurboGrafx should be up. People are buying that and then they're not buying games to play on it, or they're just pirating all their games. Is that what they're doing? Isn't the whole point of analog to play your physical media? How could TurboGrafx be down?
It's down.
All right.
PS1.
Up. Best console of all time. Can't go down.
Flat, and it's been flat for years.
That's
weirdly.
I know it is. Dude, guys,
this is one I actually wanted.
Guy, what are you doing? PS1 is so good. And you know what? Xbox is dead. We're going to live in a world of Nintendo and PlayStation. So the consoles that matter in America in terms of being foundational are going to be the NES and the PlayStation. And everybody fucking cares about NES. There's forums of diehard people who still talk about NES because they're fucking crazy. And there's YouTubers who do nothing but talk about NES, and like you get to PlayStation Land and there's fucking no one anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick comparison for us, and you tell me which is which. Okay, there's Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. If you had to give them an analog to the past, not an analog system, but the word analog, Atari, Coleco, and Television.
Oh, okay. Well, Atari is going to be Nintendo.
Okay.
I guess Coleco will be PlayStation, and who the fuck cares about Intellivision or Xbox?
Okay. That was my read on it too.
All right. But even, like, Sony is so much better than ColecoVision. Come on.
True. But Coleco at least did a few things. Coleco has its place in television. It's hard to talk about in television.
That's true.
Sorry, Intellivision collectors. I apologize for my continual slander of Intellivision this episode.
No, I used to be into like the old consoles. I played a lot of Intellivision games, and like the more Intellivision I played, it's like we could just skip this console.
PS2, up or down?
Up. People love the PS2.
Up slightly.
Yeah.
PS3.
Up.
Up even less than the PS2, but PS3, PS2, and PS1 on average, all sitting around the same price. I want to do a deeper dive though into these consoles specifically and like really dig out their price graphs and look at, because we haven't dug, I think, enough into those. And part of it is, like Jason just does such a good job with PlayStation info. I feel like encroaching on his territory a little bit, but I would like to just do like a price history on some of these and like really dig into the graphs.
All right.
Let's go to Game Boy. Up or down?
Up. One of the top 3 Nintendo things to collect. Come on.
Very slightly up. Game Boy Color.
I don't care. Like, where's
up? So this is a weird thing. Like, I know how much you dislike Game Boy Color, but Game Boy Color is a weird system.
How much of this up is like Pokemon alone?
I don't know.
Right.
Could be all of it. Could be. I mean, this is a law of large numbers. For Game Boy Color, that's not enough to drag the average price of this actually up over those games, because those games aren't expensive enough on their own. But yeah, I have seen a lot of people collecting Game Boy Color this year. And I don't know why. And it could be like the circles I sit in, and maybe no one else has seen it, but I've seen more Game Boy Color games posted than I expected. That's for sure. Anyways, GBA, up or down?
Up. Best console ever.
Flat. Super flat. It has been flat for years.
You need to be doing some better work here. You need to prop up that GBA market.
DS, up or down?
Up. Best console ever.
Down. 3DS, up or down?
DS is down? I feel like DS is already pretty cheap, isn't it?
Slightly down.
All right.
No, but again, the DS library is gigantic.
I mean, that's why, like, on average, like, most of it's garbage, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, where did it peak? Oh, it kind of peaked this year. What do you think? Is it down?
Peaked last year, yeah. It's very slightly down.
All right.
Again, it's close. It's not like way down or anything. It could be, we could just be in the middle of like a 3 months flux. And if I look again in 3 months, it could be flat or slightly up. So again, when I say slightly, that almost means flat. 3DS.
Up. Because of Barbie sales alone.
Slightly down.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Slightly down. Well, maybe that Barbie sale hasn't been factored in yet. And who knows with Canadian tariffs how that's working out. Anyways, we'll talk about Barbie later. I like to do this thing where we look at what did Mario 3 do every year, just because what a nice little bellwether. Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers 3, complete in box, just a regular copy, not a Left Bros. Do you think it's up or down from last year?
Down.
It is slightly down. Last year, so in 2023, it was $103. That was like peak Mario 3. Went down to $65, which is a gigantic drop, actually. And then this year it's at like $64, so with some rounding, like it's basically flat. So it's kind of staying where it is. 2022 was $80 for a CIB. 2021 it went to $78. 2020 was $55. So it's still higher than 2020 prices, but down definitely from its peak. Which I mean is pretty normal, but I like to judge the market by where Mario 3 is.
So is this the best judge of the market? So if we picked this as a bellwether, it should be a game that everybody would want. Does everybody really want a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 still? I think it's up there as a game everybody would want.
I think for the collector's market that we mainly deal with, I think it's a fine bellwether. Though I told you, I made a price index where I put like all this work in, and then I had Kanakis and Clearvis helping me out. We were going to do some stuff, and I just didn't go back to it where I wanted to like actually index all these consoles, so I know what they're actually doing by CIB prices. And it's something I'd still like to create and just have. Because again, this kind of, I just don't trust price charting exactly.
Yeah.
I would like to know what I would like a bellwether, not like, I think Mario 3 is a good bellwether in general for collectors. We used to use Little Samson a lot too, like, cause it used to just be the most stable price from like 2012 to like 2018. It just like didn't flinch. But I would like to know, what the bellwether is for, every console, and then have a few of those, and like, hey, this is our North Star where we look at collecting for this console. We check in on this game rather than like the overall averages. I'd like to have that, and then a specific game that we look to that anchors that console as like, this is, if you own this console, you own this game. And I think Mario 3 does a good approximation for that for the NES and then for collecting in general.
All right.
Okay. Anyways, Left Bros dropped dramatically in 2024.
Oh,
2023,
no, poor Left Bros. Go get Left
2020,
Bros.
2023, again, it was peak Left Bros. Man, everyone needed a Left Bros. It hit like a high of, well, no, it wasn't even peak. Oh my God, that was, what happened? Left Bros is a weird one. 2020 was like $320. That's why I think when people
2020, it was $320?
Yeah.
That's a collector's quest effect.
Yeah.
Because I mean, not that we are like revealed Left Bros, but we were talking about it in like, what, 2017 or something.
Yeah,
and
we were like,
go get that. What are we doing?
Yeah, like, guys, these are the same price. What are you doing? And again, price charting sorts out its data. I don't know if all that's right. So take 2020, 2021 with a grain of salt, but it was $320, and then 2021, $370. 2022 went down to like $100. Again, I don't know how
up.
that.
Yeah, there's no way that's real.
Yeah, that's like, how could that possibly happen? And then I should just go recheck that price now. 2023, $205. 2024 down to $102. What do you think it landed at this year?
There's no, you can get a left. You're saying you can get a Left Bros for less than $100? Like, probably not a nice one.
Last year.
Yeah. What? All right, so was it $97?
No, that was 2022. That was 2022. Okay. 2023 was $205. Last year was $102. So I'm gonna look Mario 3 up again just to make sure that old data wasn't rewritten, so we don't look like assholes.
All right, I'm gonna get a real Left Bros price on eBay, so we're not looking at stupid charts that don't mean anything, because price charting's a garbage website. Holy shit! First result is NES Left Bros with cellophane for $275. That was like the average price before. Oh, it's got a punch in the box. It's garbage. Never mind. Don't advertise that you have cellophane if it's not even a good box. Get out of here, guys. Let's see what Left Bros are actually selling for. Here's a graded one for $300, but it's graded. Who cares? A graded cart only for $200. A graded 8.5 cartridge for $200. It's CGC graded, so Kenneth saw this one. Guys, go get your graded copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 for $200. Who are you gonna show that off to? I don't know, but someone will care. Oh, here's another one with the cellophane. This one was $400. But this one's actually nice. You guys should buy this. You guys find a Left Bros with the cellophane? That's a game worth having in mint condition, I think.
Probably.
Oh, here's another graded one for $500. Whoa, boxing game only for $50? That seems like a deal. I'm going to say they're selling for a little over $100, maybe in the 100 to 150 range on average, but probably to get one that you'd actually want to own, let's say 150, which I think is worth it, and you should buy it.
Yep, and that's what they say the average price is. It's about $150.
All right, go get maybe a $150 to $200 copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 Left Bros, because it is Super Mario Bros. 3, and you'll be happy to own it forever. It is the game I own the most copies of within my vision. I can see 7 complete in box copies of Super Mario Bros. 3. And I only see 5 complete in box copies of Castlevania. So that says something about it, right?
Yeah, you are a maniac. And I am re-looking at price charting as guide here. In 2022, they said the CIB was $98.50 in December of 2022. I check December prices, by the way. That's how I look at these each year. Anyways, yeah, Left Bros bouncing back a little bit, but man, the mighty have fallen.
All right, what else you got for me, Johnny?
That was it.
Good.
That's it. I wanted to go through that fast. I think we managed. I like that system. Me just asking you up or down and then moving on from it.
We need another crazy year, man, until we get back to like the 2021 days where things are just like a roller coaster. Like, what do we? It's just like, prices or whatever.
I mean, what do you think we talked about from like 2017? Where it's like, yep, we're in a flat bubble.
I remember, 2017. Well, 2017 was a little exciting because game price people were complaining like, it's the bubble, it keeps going up, it's gonna pop. And then 2017 was like, guys, for the first year ever, video game prices have not gone up. I think we finally crested the hill, and then 2020 happened. It was like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and I talked about this effect a little bit, but there's so much to collect now. Back in the day, you could theoretically collect everything. You could be like, I can see all the games. I can go collect NES. I can go collect Genesis. I can collect Super Nintendo. I can go dabble in TurboGrafx 16. But now you're like, and I guess I could buy the PS Vita, and I could buy a PSP, and PS2, 3, 4, 5, Xbox 360. It's just spiraling out of control. And then there's all like these niche systems that are it's weird. You're like, oh, and I could collect Evercade carts because those are pretty cool. And the Polymega is doing something. I guess they've got their own cartridges now. Should I collect those? Like, it's all over the place.
I think that's something people don't always consider, because when they think of like, oh, there's going to be more collectors over time, and they're thinking about like NES prices, they're FOMOing, oh, I got to get my copy of Little Samson now. There could be a million new video game collectors that come in, and they could collect a million different things, and none of them might be interested in NES games.
Yeah.
So
there's never been more to collect than there is right now.
Yeah. Every time a new console comes out, every time a new game comes out, that is more shit that has to end up in collections somehow, somewhere. Yeah. And people can only collect so much shit.
Again, we are creating the trough of no value brick by brick every time we make a game. Like they just don't consider everything that's collectible. And the minute video games became collectible, people started making all the ancillary bullshit that we dislike. I like amiibos, but that's like another thing. More comic books, more books, picture books, everything. Every vinyl record that's ever been created, anything that has some sort of video game adjacency to it now, where you've seen a Mario or a Zelda on it or a Crash Bandicoot, all of that stuff is affecting the collector's market. It is collector spread. The collecting video games is just becoming a bigger and bigger like blob of things. Before it used to be a tight little nest, that was it. It was like, oh, it's just these, and I can see all of them. And libraries aren't small anymore. They're gigantic. Like the Switch 2 has a giant library. What are we doing? Like, I guess the Wii U is small, but PS3 has a huge library. PS4 has a huge library. Xbox 360, Xbox One. Like, these are big, big libraries of games. It's not like, oh, well, the GameCube is, that's pretty big, but it's not too bad, like 500 and N64 is 250 something games. Cool. Like, if you look at the Switch, the amount of Switch games, how many Nintendo sets do you think it takes to add up to the Switch?
I don't know if people are seriously collecting sets, and
no, they aren't. And but that's why I'm saying part of the impossibility of it is how big and spread out everything has become.
Definitely. And I think that's also maybe another reason that we see something like Go-Go Hypergrind or Groove Rider spike and go back down. They're not really set killers, but stuff you want to get out of the way for a set is not the stuff that keeps going up. And Cubivore just keeps going up because I think more people are just like, well, I'm not going to get the set, but I do want the big flashy thing to show off, so let me get the top game.
Absolutely. Okay. That's all I wanted to say about that. That's just a thing to keep in mind. And remember, as every year passes, the spread gets bigger until we hit the point where it doesn't. Who knows if we'll ever see that point?
All right, Johnny, I think you actually read more of this Video Game Sage thread than I did, but it was asking for people's thoughts on where video game collecting is as of this year. And Joan Bone had a very insightful post. Very respectable video game collector and seller, Joan Bone. Guy, like, if I'm picking people who are going to be the most in tune with what's going on in all aspect of video games, we have our friend Josh Byerly, who is definitely one of my top choices for that. I think, I think you would turn your nose up at him for some reason, but I think Get the Greg Games is very in tune with the video game market and what's happening in collecting.
I would not turn my nose up. Like, if I was looking at this... No, look... I think if I'm talking about the sealed market, I know, again, I don't like YouTubers, but they're not normal YouTubers. It's not like a bunch of like, hey, YouTube.
Yeah, he's the only fucking one.
But like, again, him and Henry are talking about the sealed games. They are watching the market. They are people that I go, these guys know what they're doing. They look at it. And again, my initial distrust, it was like, well, who are these guys that are new into this? And then it's like, well, now they've been sitting here for fucking 5 or 6 years staring at this shit. Okay, yeah, you're in. Like, yeah, you guys fucking did it. I trust your assessment of this part of the market.
And then Joan Bone, Jonas, I forget his last name actually, but he's been around
Bonus
forever.
Is actually his last name.
Jonas is his last name?
No, Bonus. Jonas Bonus.
Jonas Bonus. Yeah. I was going to recap this thread. Should I just read this entire post? Because I feel like it's getting lost in a Video Game Sage thread. And I realize people don't use forums. No one even knows what Video Game Sage is. But I think it's a very accurate recap of...
Yeah, I think Joan says a lot of things that we've said here. So yeah, go ahead and read it.
Market sentiment. All right. It's a dying market, but mint rares and populars will always hold value. Far less set collectors these days as well. Not really a thing anymore. It's not just less people piling in, it's also more people finishing or exiting entirely. So not just the demand side dying, but the sell side increasing. Priorities increase as you age too. You start realizing you don't want to inherit a bunch of stuff from your parents, and you don't want to pass your burden down to kids either. Nothing wrong with having a collection as your hobby, but kids these days have no interest. They'd rather be on their cell phones playing games like Roblox. Maybe they want to play AAA stuff for a week or two. When it comes out, then it's back on the shelf. And they'd much rather download it to play instantly than have the hassle of changing game carts every time they play something else. That's been told to me directly. Physical media is a hassle. That's some commentary from Tyler there.
We have talked about it.
We talked about when the download era would come. It's already here. The masses have already adopted it. And if you're still a physical purist, that's fine. Just know you're in the minority. And you have limited run games who reprint games from old systems like Game Boy and SNES and need to have that rare game in physical form decreases a little more each time. End of the day, I hardly ever boot up an old system. Last old game I played was Final Fantasy III on SNES, and I played it on my SNES Classic with save states. Okay, I mean, you're a little bitch. You could just say it, Jonas. I mean, save states for fucking Final Fantasy III. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, but also don't use it.
I think that's just the way it saves.
I mean, so... To be clear, yes, if I'm playing an RPG, the main reason I play RPGs on emulators and not hardware is so I could back up my save game, because I'm terrified of getting 40 hours into a game and my save running out of battery. But don't fight a boss and then like use a save state to try to get past it.
Agreed.
I don't even mind paying $5 or $10 for a game download just to play with save states, modern graphics, achievements, etc. when I already own it in physical form. Prices will ebb and flow, but the old days are never coming back. You'll never see people piling in. It's just a slow decline of people leaving / becoming stagnant, and a new guy appearing every now and then. Or game stores clearing people out and most stuff coming from store inventory instead of collectors. Ooh, some of these lines, the podcast that I was talking about with Greg and Henry, they also very much said, you don't see people piling in. It will just be a slow decline forever from here out.
Yeah.
And like, man, there's going to be catalysts in the game collecting market that we don't see yet. Just look at comic books. Comic books were basically a dying thing until the MCU. So stuff could happen, but shit, people are pessimistic out here.
The only positive I can have for you is remember, it's hard to create new things, and old things that already exist are way easier to market.
And you know what the best part about the pessimism in the game collecting market is that it can be true that it's a bunch of existing collectors and more people are leaving than coming in, and there's not going to be any great spike in new people coming in, and yet simultaneously true that the stuff you really, really want is the stuff that's going to keep going up in price between the people who are still in video game collecting.
Yeah, or the people who just want to dabble and not have 1,000 games.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be like, I picked these 3 games. I picked Super Mario 3. I picked Final Fantasy 7. Like, this is the stuff that people will go after.
No, but what about my mint sealed little Samson, Johnny?
What's a little Samson? The Bible game?
That joke is funny every time.
I'm glad you appreciate
it. Some of your jokes that you overuse are not funny every time, but I do love that joke.
Some jokes I overuse, and they're funny to me every time because they aren't funny to you, Tyler.
Jonas, thank you for letting us read your entire forum post on our podcast. Also, we didn't reach out to you. We are just stealing this.
Oh, you posted it publicly. Sorry. Digital theft. Let's be thieves. Okay. That's a kind of a summary of where Jonas thinks the market is. I don't think we disagree. I think a lot of these points we make all the time. Like, we've talked about all this stuff. We have literally talked about how we don't want to change game carts and it's easier. Like, we aren't 13-year-olds.
It's true. And for convenience reasons, and like not only convenience, there are multiple ways of convenience. I emulate most games I play. Emulation is great and fine, and I absolutely don't use save states. I think that's horrendous. It is just way easier if I'm going to play an SNES game to play it at my desk rather than go to my game room, fuck with my FrameMeister, dig a cartridge out of a bin because I've got all my SNES cartridges in the bin now. It's just way easier. Just boot it up and it's right there.
Yeah. Again, and as an adult, people say, oh, that's bullshit. If you're look, as an adult with very limited time, I need to do things that cut barriers out of my life. You know, I want to play old games. People are like, I can't believe you just play it on your TV like that with your Polymega. My guy, I, again, only have so much time. Sure, I have everything. I could go do it. I could pull out a cool screen and play it with old hardware. I could hook up a SCART cable. I could be doing all the stuff. I don't want to. I don't have time for all that nonsense. If I only have an hour and a half to play, I don't want to spend 30 minutes of it setting up bullshit. And then people say, oh, well, just set it up always. I don't have room for all that shit. I got too many video games.
Hey, guys, if you're gatekeeping how people play video games, let me just say 95% of people who are into old video games don't play old video games at all. Go gatekeep those people. Get off someone's ass for playing Final Fantasy 3 on an emulator. They're playing Final Fantasy 3. They're doing the thing you want them to do.
The people, like, again, a lot of people playing old games are emulating them and playing them on bullshit programs on their iPhone. Like,
They're still playing it.
Yeah, and you know what? Good. They played an old game. Great. They played it on Steam. Fantastic. Perfect. Great. People are playing old games. I love it.
I used to be way more nitpicky about this, and as I got older, I found it harder to find people to have conversations with about certain games I want to talk about, because, like, fucking old CRPGs. This is always the example I bring up. I can't have a conversation with fucking anybody about, like, Wizardry 2. I would have to go on a Wizardry-specific forum and talk with people that are, like, way fucking more into it than I am, and I don't want to deal with that. So, if someone told me they're playing Wizardry fucking 2 on their phone with save states and they're playing, like, the Super Famicom version, I'd be like, fuck yes, let's talk about Wizardry 2. I don't care how you're playing it. It's cool that you're playing it.
Yeah. Let's normalize that for this year. Like, let that be what happens in 2026. We just get happy that people are playing old games and stop being shitbags about how they're doing that.
I mean, I've already ruined this by, like, multiple times shitting on save states. So I
know.
I'm a terrible person.
You're trying, Tyler. It's not 2026 yet.
Okay.
This is what you could do to be better.
All right.
Look, I am a big fan of picking one thing about yourself that you know that you aren't good at or could be better at. Could be even just a dumb skill you want to learn. Just picking one thing every year and just trying to do it. It could be something completely inane, innocuous, like something really dumb. You could be like, you know what? I'm going to learn to whittle. One year, my goal was to just learn how to use chopsticks proficiently. So I didn't embarrass my friends when we went out and they wanted to go to like a nice Chinese food restaurant. I could just like pick up a pair of chopsticks and look less embarrassing. I won't say I'm good, but like less embarrassing. Again, any little thing. It could be as dumb as that, but pick one thing and just try and learn it. Or be better. You're like, I'm going to, learn 3 new words or 5 new words this year. Like people are like, I'm going to learn a whole new language. Look, bravo for you if you can, but pick little things. Give yourself little victories each year. Just like incremental improvement. It's wonderful.
Johnny, anyways, I'm going to be the best at, I'm going to try to become the best at ball and cup. It's a hot throwback for you true fans out there.
Yep. I mean, I prefer rock and stick, but you do you.
All right, what's up? We're talking about the best and worst trend of this year. What trends even were there?
AI. Everything AI. Slop. Slop is here.
Okay, you know what? This isn't really a collecting focused trend.
No.
Is the AI hate the worst trend? Because it is a trend, and it is like a popular trend that we both are kind of on the opposite fence of.
I mean, you're going to just have more AI-generated nonsense in games. Do you care about that? Like, you're going to see fully created AI games. It's now easier to create games than it's ever been. So you'll see more of that. I think like trend of the year really for me is that sealed games, graded games are down as far as they are, but I think the grading companies are doing more than they ever have. So interesting juxtaposition there.
We never talked about this in more grading news. VGA is allowing you to submit games on the WADA CGC scale, which is fucking crazy. So they are going forward have 2 scales, the regular 0 to 100 VGA scale, or you could submit it on the 0 to 10 scale. That's basically the same thing that PSA and CGC use. Which is them admitting that people don't want to use their scale, which is such a crazy thing to me.
It is pretty weird.
Also, I know Johnny loves this. I think their seal grades are numbers, not letters, which means that he loves everything being a number.
I love clarity. What I don't love is A++. What the fuck does that mean? That's so stupid. Again, that's creating confusion and it's creating just your ability to create certainty. So let's removing certainty and placing that in the hands of others and being less clear so you can say more without authority. And I don't like that. Give me a hard number that everyone understands and no one can really argue over it. Like, oh, what's a plus? Is that better? I'm not here for that garbage. Give me an objective. That's a 10. That's a 9. Okay. I understand 9. I understand 10.
We figured this out in the 1970s. Whenever the first Overstreet Guide was published, and there were 3 grades, there was like good, excellent, and mint. And that's when we really figured it out. So
look, man, I understand as someone who creates grading scales and systems, which to measure things all the time. Again, it's my job. I do this on a daily basis. I read about this nonsense. I do deep studies into this and what kind of scales people like and how people abuse scales. And it's just an abusive scale. It's a nonsense scale. It's not consumer friendly.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. Consumers, there's like 1,000 people in this entire market and they don't care what you think, Johnny.
Sorry,
you might as well
it's
be
not
a Redditor
consumer friendly. It's not friendly to the 4 of you guys buying these games.
Exactly. All that matters is what those people think.
Anyways, I don't know if there's like one giant standout trend to me.
I mean, the worst trend in reality, we've talked about it to death already. It's Nintendo game key cards.
Yes.
It's kind of obvious, but that's what it is. That's definitely worse than prices.
Okay. That's like an overarching thing. But now let's get more personal, Tyler, because who cares about the world? Let's talk about me and you. That's what this podcast is. It's about Tyler and Johnny.
Let's for us Tyler to pump things so we can get our investments up for when we retire and leave all this stuff to our children.
Line goes up. I love it.
Johnny, what are the best and worst things we purchased this year?
What would you say your worst purchase is? You want me to go first?
I want you to go first, yes.
My worst purchase. Gosh. I bought... This is hard to say. I think some of the worst stuff I bought, and I don't regret it, but I bought Xbox games. Just like, am I completing this set? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Am I still in on this? Like trying to complete this Xbox set? I can't shit or get off the fence on this thing. So I just bought a bunch of Xbox games. I also bought some hidden object games for Halloween time, just because I wanted to see what they felt like and looked like in hand.
I guess. I mean, it fits your collection. It's not really that terrible of a purchase.
No, it's not that terrible. Again, and you could say the same. I bought more stuff than I have in a long time this year, but most of it was within the spectrum of what I was doing. If you really want to say, maybe the worst thing and silliest thing I bought, because I am this way, was all of those manuals, Tyler. Maybe spending that much money on manuals was not my best purchase, or maybe it was great. I don't know.
Strongly. Don't buy a big box of assorted manuals.
Love them, though. Love manuals.
All right. The worst thing I purchased is almost definitely 2 graded copies of Mother for the Famicom. Okay, so...
That's not terrible.
Mother on the Famicom, one of the only new in-box Famicom games that is both very common new in box, like there's new old stock out there, but it still goes for very high prices, like $500 plus on Yahoo Auctions. And I just don't want to deal with spending a lot of money for a Japanese game, and then I get it, and it's like it's either not in great condition or like it has an open hinge, and then it's worthless. So I'd rather, if I'm spending like $500 in a game, I'm just gonna I'll just get a VGA graded copy. Japanese games are not that expensive. Although Mother is an exception where it is expensive. There was one auction that finally came up and it had 2 copies of Mother for sale. And I'm like, great. If I don't win the good one, I'll win the second one because it'll go super cheap. And I put placeholder bids on both of them. And then I bid on the good one live. And I won the good one. It was like a VGA 85 plus, I think. I won it for like half what I thought I was going to have to win it for. I won it for basically the raw price it sells for in Japan. And then my bid on the lower copy was so high that I won that one too for like $100 less than the good copy.
Okay, so what did you spend on these? How much?
It was like $600 and $400 or something. I forget exactly what it was. But like they sell for like $500 to like $700 even new in box in Japan a lot.
And these are both new? Interesting.
Yeah, they're new. And so I felt so fucking bad because I had this bid that I couldn't remove on the lower graded copy, and someone was in Greg's chat at the time saying like, fuck, I didn't bid on the good one because I thought the lower one was going to go so much cheaper, and someone's bidding like crazy on the lower one, and it was my fucking bid that I wanted to get rid of. Anyway, that's the dumbest thing I bought this year, is that second copy of Mother that I just shouldn't have put a pre-bid on.
Whoops.
Yep. You want a copy of Mother, Johnny?
I do want a copy of Mother. I don't have one.
Great.
Johnny,
what's the best thing you bought? What are some of the best things you bought this year?
Oh man, I'm kind of in love with what I bought this year, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
I bought some like real Johnny bullshit this year. A lot of it. But I'll tell you some of the things I'm happiest with. I'm going to tell you the thing I am absolutely happiest about this year. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Wizardry for the Apple II that I got for you.
Fuck yeah. Wait, what? Did I tell you to buy this?
No, I got it for you. That's the thing I sent to you, remember?
Oh, damn it. Okay.
That's the thing I'm happiest about this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I like when you get something nice. No. So I got, again, I got that stupid Nancy Drew on the DS with the little graphic novel attached to the back that I love. That's like the dumbest thing. I got that Dead Space Ultra Limited Edition that I love. That thing is cool as hell.
It is one of the cooler modern limited editions you could possibly own. Only 1,000 of those made, right?
Yep.
Or was it 1,000 per console, maybe?
We're very unclear on that.
Okay.
The World of Warcraft pre-order box. I love that with the book inside.
I bought 2 of those.
Yeah. You buy 2 of a lot of things. But again, that thing I just thought was cool. And I spent so much time in WoW. It felt cool to have like a little WoW trophy. You know how it is. Getting Kyle Petty, finding out what the No Fear sticker actually looked like for that game and just confirming it and having one, even though it's stuck to the box, and getting the map and the registration card felt really good. Again, that's like a dumb thing, but that was a thing that had just like plagued me for a long time. So crossing it off the list felt good. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy bonus disc for the stupid GameCube. So if you don't know, the Billy and Mandy, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy for the GameCube comes, there's a version of it that's got like a little Grim Reaper up on the corner and it says bonus disc included. And what that is a cardboard sleeve that was pasted to the back of this stupid game. And it's just like season 1 or like one disc of season 1 of the DVD set. But it is impossible to find that stupid disc, right? Like this is a thing I looked for years. Finally got a copy. Overpaid for it probably. I think I spent $80 on it for like just something nobody cares about, no one knows about. But again, just happy to cross it off the list. I felt bad at the time, and now I look back at it, I'm just happy I own it. Same thing with the stupid NASCAR game, Chase for the Cup 2005. I got the one that's like the Walmart exclusive. I just checked off some GameCube variants that I got.
I love that. Super underrated variant because it is rare and weird and a game that no one thinks about. NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 and 2006 have Walmart exclusive variants. And that's on Xbox too. That's the only reason I know about it.
I got NFL Quarterback Club 96 for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo with the phone card.
We're talking about the best stuff you bought this year. You're like, oh, the variant of Quarterback Club 96.
I think that's awesome. Like, again, but this is like little stuff. Like, I love all these little things. Let me tell you about Pokemon Blue first print. I got that.
Finally. Oh, yeah. Man, that's like, you should lead with that. Like, maybe like a top 5 game ever to possibly own up there with that first print Zelda.
I didn't lead with that, so I could talk to you about the bullshit and then work my way into it, okay?
Yeah, you guys should also own a first print Pokemon Blue. That's a really, really good thing. I think basically evergreen. Because I don't know if you guys know. So there's this franchise called Pokemon, and it's popular.
Yeah. Harvester, Tyler. I got my complete in box Harvester. We'll talk about it later, but I'm delighted to own this game.
Cult classic.
The Inside Collector's Edition for the PS4 with the very questionable accessory included inside of it.
Inside of it?
Yeah.
The funny part about that Collector's Edition is like, you don't get it until you beat the game inside. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. And Tyler, you can tell me if this is the best or worst thing I bought. Barbie Groom and Glam Pups for the 3DS. We've talked about it for years, and finally I pulled the trigger on it.
I'm looking at my list of my best stuff I got, and I don't think any of it is even half the price of your Barbie 3DS game, and this is stuff I love.
How much do you think I paid for it?
$2,000.
I did not pay $2,000. Okay, I paid under $1,000.
Oh, all right. That's not, I say that's not bad. It's still bad, but that's fine.
It's still bad. I basically paid $1,000 for it. It was like $998 after everything.
All right. I guess.
Yeah. Which is why I finally pulled the trigger on it.
This is the worst Grail. I hate it so much. It's like a modern game. It's a handheld game. It's a 3D. Like nothing about it makes me excited. But I know it's like, oh, it's one of the modern Grails. There's none on eBay, I bet.
So the dumb thing about this, do you remember I used to do this thing where I used to just buy Barbie games anyways? Before this thing even existed as the Grail, I would just like sometimes post Barbie games because I thought it was funny to have
Sure.
all these Barbie games. And then like this thing became the Grail, and then I just felt like a fucking asshole not owning it. And then like again, this is one of those sets like the Xbox that I flirt with. Like, am I ever going to complete this set? What am I doing? Am I really doing this? And I just pick up stuff here and there, and it lets me pretend like I still collect sets.
You could just collect the Xbox set. You know what happens at the end of the Xbox set? You feel dead inside.
I'm like 30 games away from completing that now or something. So I'm very close.
Damn.
Tyler, I gave you a list of a lot of stuff, and that doesn't even encompass all of it because I bought a lot of dumb stuff this year. Admittedly, I bought a lot of things, and you know what? I enjoyed like all of them. It wasn't like set like except for like the Xbox games. Like I bought a pile of Xbox games. Fuck. But like all this stuff, bought a bunch of weird Halloween stuff. It just felt cool to like get this stuff in the collection. Be like, oh, this is cool. Oh, look at this thing. This is pretty cool. You know, just like it felt like most of the stuff I bought was in line with what I was doing. Nothing like super suspect on my end.
All right. I think a fun part of buying not for a set is that you don't know what you're going to get in your collection. And I think there's a difference between being unfocused and buying stuff that's like not part of a set. I think you can still be focused and get like kind of weird, quirky things that you really love. And if you're just like if you're collecting the GameCube set, and I realize there are people listening to this podcast collecting the GameCube set, but you know, it's like, all right, I got 30 left and I've got to kind of whittle them down. And I kind of know what the next year of my life in buying these games looks like.
Yeah. And sometimes it feels good to check those boxes, and other times you're just checking a box and that feels bad.
Man, when you get to that list of $20 to $40 games, it's just grinding through that. Oh, and not a single one of those games is worth owning. It sucks.
Yeah, so like when I'm just doing Halloween games, I'm just like, I bought this thing and it was cool. This one was $20 and this one was $200. You're like, yeah, these are both pretty cool though. I enjoy both of these. I don't enjoy like I don't know exactly what the right price on any of this stuff is too, which is also kind of magical because like maybe I overpaid, maybe I underpaid, maybe I got a great deal. Like the math on all of this is not set. This is not concrete stuff. Cause so few people care about it. So everything is just kind of nebulous, and you know, I'm not competing with a bunch of people. I'm just out here living my best collector life, buying stuff that I think is fun.
I mean, me too. I've been buying way less and having I don't know if I'm having more fun doing it, but I'm definitely happier with each one of my individual purchases. It is pretty fun getting mail every single day. But you know, maybe not the healthiest thing to do either.
No, but the dopamine feels so good. Anyways, Tyler, what is the best? Tell me the best and worst.
You know,
stuff
in the same way that, like, I'm sure being addicted to heroin is fun in some sense for a time, but you're still addicted to heroin at the end of the day, which is maybe not good.
Maybe.
Johnny,
Still paying my bills.
I got some video games. Some of the best stuff I got 2 Charamera Famicom carrying cases.
That's pretty cool.
So one of the best things in my collection is Charamera Zelda no Densetsu for the Famicom Disk System, which is the promotional early print release of the original Legend of Zelda. You know, I think it's on my personal list of best video games you could possibly own because it's the weird. There's only 1,500 of them that were ever printed. It's a contest prize. And it's the first fucking Legends of Zelda. It's crazy that it exists at all. Why would they have a contest prize for like such an important game?
No idea.
And so the game came with a branded Famicom that has a Charamera sticker over the family computer sticker on the front, and it came with a carrying case, this gray lunchbox basically. And I never had the carrying case, and it's been on like all my save searches, and I saw one on eBay a couple years ago. It was like $500. I was like, no one's gonna pay $500 for this. Who's even looking for this? And I didn't buy it, and it sold. And of course, once you see something and it sells, you're like, oh, shit, I was looking for that for like 2 years. Why didn't I just buy it? So then I bought one again for like $500. And then immediately another one came up complete in box. But this same carrying case also came out for a Kid Icarus promotion. And so the carrying case itself is less rare than the actual game. And the box I have is for, unfortunately, the Kid Icarus one. But it's still a Charamera carrying case complete in box for Kid Icarus. Whatever, it's cool. It's a weird Famicom accessory that no one cares about. People like their NES trash cans and their NES TV consoles. Things I think are total fucking garbage. This is my one thing that is total fucking garbage that I think is so cool.
I think it's cool.
Johnny, I got the House Shanman Color TV Game 6. Which I think might be Nintendo's earliest limited edition console. There's another limited edition Color TV Game 6. It might be that one. But this one did come out the same year that the Color TV Game 6 came out. If you don't know, Color TV Game 6 and 12 are Nintendo's first video game consoles. They're Pong consoles. They came out in 1977. And this is, again, a promotional ramen branded Color TV Game 6. I think it was limited to 1,500. So it's rare. It's not the rarest thing in the world. I think there's one on eBay. Just a weird thing. All it is, it's literally a TV Game 6 and it's got like a little, it's like a 3D kind of sticker on the front of it. Weird fucking thing. I love it.
That is pretty cool.
I did get a sealed Castlevania Rondo of Blood.
Also good.
Top 3 Castlevania game behind Castlevania 4. No comment. All right, good. So you agree?
I'm gonna let that slide.
I got a sealed Morrowind Collector's Edition, something I've wanted for a while. It was like less than twice the price of getting it complete in box. It was $1,000, and they go for like $600 or $700 complete in box. So I was super happy with that. I think it was like a VGA 85, and then on Heritage Auctions, a VGA 85 Plus came up, like something very slightly better. And I was like, oh shit, well, mine was so cheap. Let me just go get this better one and then dump the other one. I think there's like 2, it's like a pop 2. Like these are the 2 copies that VGA has. I'm like, all right, I'll win this one too. Great. And it got bid up to like $2,200. It was like over twice the price of mine. So I did not. I like winning 2 things, especially if they're upgrades, but I didn't win the second one. Anyway, I love Morrowind is like a top 10 game for me, so I needed to have that.
I know you do love it.
I got a Silent Hill signed by Keiichiro Toyama, who's the creator of Silent Hill. That's pretty cool. I like Silent Hill 1 a whole lot.
That's a very cool thing.
And I got a copy, Johnny. A copy of The Devil's Dungeon.
Oh,
which is...
I thought you were going to say The Devil May Cry. Or The Devil's Third.
So, you may have heard, I like early computer role-playing games. This is, in a technical sense, one of the earliest computer role-playing games ever made, but there's no physical media of it. It is just printed in a book. Because sometimes, in the 1970s, you just bought a book or a magazine, and you typed that video game into your personal microcomputer. And The Devil's Dungeon is a very simple game, but it does have, like, stats. So I think it counts as a computer RPG. And, like, it's probably, not counting Plato Network games. In terms of physical CRPGs that you could technically own and say you own a copy of a CRPG, this might be, like, the first 3. I'm like, someone needs to come at me with some earlier examples. Is this the earliest one? I don't know. Someone come at me with the earliest physical CRPG. I want to know what came out before 1977, because 1977 is pretty fucking early for any physical computer game.
Yeah.
Because like a Calibeth, which is seen as like the first CRPG, that's 1979, and that's like a real game that came out on a disc and, like 20 copies sold or whatever. But come at me. You got an earlier CRPG than my Devil's Dungeon book. I want to know about it. That I can physically own.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Glad you put that caveat in there.
Yeah.
3 people were hearing that and they were rubbing their hands together.
Oh man, you don't have Moria? It came out on the Plato Network. You could download the code here. Oh, you know what? There's probably like code that was written for like the Plato Network. There's probably like punch cards that exist somewhere in some lab archive room, and I just don't know they exist. And one day they'll come out and they'll be like, Tyler, you don't have these. Your collection sucks.
You know what I need for us, for the podcast, Tyler?
What's up?
This is related to what you're saying. I need there to be, because we beat the same drum a lot of times. We have our beats that we go to. I need there to be icons on our episodes for when we hit a certain thing. Like we brought up the Plato Network today. So
it's so important.
I understand, but there should be like whenever we bring up that people should put their money into VTSAX, like anytime we do any of our normal things, there should just be a little icon on the episode that's so people know that we did the thing that they expect. Like, okay, oh shit, they said the Plato Network in this one. I got to tune in for that. I just think that would be very funny. Just have little icons for like, essentially a drinking game, but not a drinking game where, you just get to see little icons of, yep, the podcast did the thing this time.
How long have I been on the podcast, Johnny? Like 10 years? Like, yeah, I fall into my old habits.
Look, yeah, you not quite 10 years, like 8.5, 9.
It's close.
9 years? 9 years? We're over a decade.
I associate me starting Collector's Quest with the end of my serious competitive pinball career because I started taking so much time with Collector's Quest that it killed my pinball career. I'm sorry for blaming the podcast, but it takes a long time to remain competitive at pinball. There's a lot of shit to learn. Spending long weekends literally studying pinball rules. You guys don't even fucking know.
So what is it? Have you asked Ada what she would rather have? Which version of you would she have rather
Are you
had?
kidding me? I used to drag her, like we would go on overnight trips to pinball tournaments and I would drag her with me and she doesn't like pinball and she would sit in an arcade and watch me play pinball for 9 hours. After like a 3.5 hour drive and staying overnight at an Airbnb.
So at least now she's like, I can just go be on my iPad.
Yeah, and because fucking what? And like not only that, she's there with like pinball people. So the people who try to talk to her are like, guys, pinball people are a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pinball person. I understand. Look, we're all on the spectrum. We play pinball. There's something very mechanical and delightful about pinball and like the people who want to be very good at pinball. But like for a normal, well-adjusted person like Ada, they're not the people you want to talk to because they will sit down and talk about like pinball rules with you for hours.
So anytime Ada's mad at the podcast, I think you should just have this bullet in the chamber and just fire it off once in a while. It could have been pinball, Ada.
All right.
I
mean, I'm about to come into bed at like 4 a.m. and wake her up. So
she's going to be like, oh, Dad. You're like, it could have been pinball. And she'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember when we used to have machines torn apart? We used to not have a dining room. It was just a pinball workshop. Just shit torn apart all the time.
Okay. I think you made some really solid purchases this year. I like what you bought.
Thanks, Johnny. I like what you bought. No, I don't. I made fun of your Quarterback Club 96s, but
that's fine. I mean,
I know
that's stuff I like. Again, that's like dumb shit that I like. I love all these. Again, just stupid stuff. Learning. Do I need those? No. Do they make my collection better? I don't know, but I enjoy them. I think they're fun. Again, they're not the end all be all. They can go do whatever, but I find them fun.
All right, Johnny, as somebody who has
copies,
I have so many video games that I definitely don't remember everything in my collection. When I'm going through my collection, am I going to be more delighted when I find a Quarterback Club 96 with the phone card or a copy of like Groove Rider? I'm obviously going to be more delighted with, the Quarterback Club with the phone card.
Yeah.
Because it also makes me good to think like, not only do I own this cool thing that no one has, but I'm such a smart collector. I knew to buy this to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't have that, by the way. I guess I should get a Quarterback Club 96 with the phone card, huh? For my Genesis set.
Yep.
Are these available?
Occasionally. Yeah, I think there might still be a sealed one available, which is how I think you need to see it because it's got a sticker on the front.
This game's like $30 sealed. Does it have to say anything on the box or do they just all have it?
It has to have a sticker on the box.
Oh, no.
That's it. Yeah, so it's got a little sticker on the left-hand side in the bottom left-hand corner, and it says it's like a Kmart exclusive.
Oh, damn, you're making this a lot harder for me. All right, Johnny, what was your most shameful purchase of the year?
Okay, so, I mean, aside from that Barbie, and again, maybe this goes into worst purchase too. I bought I bought a manual, Tyler. I bought a box of manuals, but on top of that, then I went and I spent even more money on a singular manual, which I thought was going to be great for my collection. Um, Hagane manual, and yeah, I mean, I've detailed what happened, how it never came, how the guy tried to like scam me twice on it, and just it's my most shameful purchase because I got so freaking tilted about the stupid game. I was so tilted. Like I seriously would punch this guy in the face if I had seen him in person. Like it would have been a physical attack. I was so tilted about like just the gaslighting, acting like I was the scammer when I was not, and just like saying a bunch of rude things. So yeah, it's my most shameful purchase, not because one, it's spending a lot of money for a fucking manual for a game that very few, if anyone, cares about really, aside from being like, I've got one of the most expensive Super Nintendo games. But yeah, the way I wanted to fight this man over it, also not great.
So your most shameful purchase is something you didn't even really buy.
Yeah, well, I did pay the money for it. It just happened to get refunded to me by eBay, and they didn't even take the money from him, Tyler, and they wouldn't even let me keep the negative feedback on it. eBay was just like, we're just going to clean up this situation. We don't care.
Guess that does fucking suck. Yeah, you're right.
And like, I can't, so they removed my feedback that says like, hey, this guy scams people. Like, it's fucking obnoxious.
I mean, there cannot be people at eBay anymore who deal with this stuff. They must just say like, all right, we're just going to have like this 5% scammer acceptable loss, and we're going to have AI deal with all of this because we're not employing people to do this.
No, like it took me over a month and a half to resolve the stupid thing. I had this issue with a pair of shoes I bought where the box came slightly damaged, and they resolved it in 10 minutes. This thing, it took a month and a half. That's the other thing. It like drug on. It was just like, yeah, it was obnoxious. And yeah, I was angrier than I should have been about it. The amount of money wasn't the thing. It's not that the money was nothing. It was also like all the mental, like I had this mentally checked off my list. I was done with this stupid fucking Super Nintendo thing, and I came back. So yeah. Anyways, all those things entwined made it my most shameful purchase because I feel some kind of way about it, and I don't like that it dictated my emotions at all.
All right, Johnny. I sometimes don't say on the podcast expensive graded games that I buy because I'm literally ashamed of it. I feel out of touch with the real video game collectors when I buy stupid things like a sealed Castlevania Rondo of Blood. But that one's cool, so I did say that one on the show because that was really fucking cool. I also bought probably the most expensive Ocarina of Time. I think it was the most expensive Ocarina of Time, Japanese, on Heritage Auctions. I bought a 9.6 new Japanese one. It was like $1,300, which is an insane fucking price. This is not a rare game at all. You could get these in Japan. I think I probably have a couple sitting on like a Billy bookcase somewhere. The fucking problem is they're all 9.4s. They're all like just okay, and it's like one of my favorite games, and I wanted a really nice one, and I overpaid the shit for this, and it's not even a 9.8. Fuck. But I don't care. It's the first sealed game I ever bought was Ocarina of Time, and I bought a VGA 85 because I didn't know fucking anything at the time. And if you don't know, VGA 85 is a fucking garbage grade, and it's a piece of fucking garbage. Honestly, like a WADA 9.6 is kind of a garbage grade for such a common game. But whatever. I'm ashamed of that. I didn't say it when I bought it. But now we're 3 hours into the last episode of the year, so now only the people I like are even listening to this. So now you get to know that I am financially irresponsible. Fucking whatever. I bought so little this year, I'm allowed to spend $1,000 on stupid bullshit. I bought so few games.
Tyler, you're doing amazing. We love you.
Yeah. I bought a new car, too. I'm so excited, Johnny.
Oh, gross. That's their most shameful purchase.
I got it from the bad part of town. It was from like I only sell cheap cars that are like, they buy them literally. I could tell on the lot. They buy the cheapest fucking cars from like whatever the auction is. And all their cars, they have like all like the $1,000 to $5,000 cars, like the garbage. And then
definitely are like, we don't do credit checks.
Yeah, exactly. It's that. They replaced the lug nuts. All the lug nuts are fucking shiny and new. It's the weirdest thing. And they spray like the side of the tire black so it looks nice and shiny. And they do fucking nothing else to the car. And like that's gonna like trick people like, oh, it must be in good condition. Look, the lug nuts are shiny. But I got my 2012 Honda Fit. 88,000 miles. I've never seen a car with 88,000 miles in worse condition than this Honda Fit. But I got it. I've been looking for a car so long.
You got to stop hitting deer.
I'm so worried about hitting another deer. I don't even like drive. I have like driving anxiety now. I just drove up to New York for Christmas, and like it's a 12-hour drive, and like I'm on like I-95, and I'm like, fuck, there's gonna be a deer any second now. Hitting 2 deer in 1 year is like it's stressing.
It is pretty wild.
The worst part, the second deer I hit was on like a major road near me. Like there's no reason there should have been a deer. It was a 6-lane highway, and I hit a deer. It's fucking just the worst.
That's crazy, actually. Yeah.
There were cars in front of me behind. Like it was fucking fate. I hate it.
Yeah. That sucks.
Johnny, we're going to talk about the biggest sale, weird greatest stuff, biggest fall off. No, we're not, because we already talked about this.
We already talked about
the big sales and the big fall off were the first print NES Zelda for $300,000, which seemed ho-hum. That's the biggest sale I know of the year. Maybe there was something bigger. And then the biggest fall off was the Hang Tab Super Mario Brothers, which sold for like $100,000 plus less than people thought it was going to sell for, which is crazy because one in 2020 sold for like $112,000 in the same grade. So we're up $60,000 from like 2020, which I realize is 5 years ago. And that is like disappointing. The sky is falling numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, and yes, multiple other copies in like 2021 sold in like the $500,000 to $700,000 range. Guess what, guys? That was 2021. It's never coming back. We're all gonna die.
Fair.
Johnny, best and worst games we played this year.
Ooh, you want to go or you want me to?
You go.
Fireman.
Hell yeah, that game rules.
That game did rule. God, why can't I think of the name? The roller coaster game. Jesus, Mad Panic Coaster.
Yeah, that game fucking rules too.
Yeah. And Harvester. Those are the 3 best games I played this year. Oh my god,
wow. Every game you play, all your best games are games you played with me. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not appearing on this list was beyond Shadowgate. You can't hold up to
no.
Fireman. It's like an hour-long, completely tight, like running gun.
Game.
It's too good.
Fireman. Whatever you think the rating on Fireman is, it's not high enough. Go play Fireman.
In a very similar vein, Final Fantasy Adventure is my favorite game that I played this year. And that's a game that like I've always known like, oh, people like that game. It's on like the top of Game Boy lists. And I'm just like, it's just because people haven't played all the Game Boy games. They're just picking something with a big brand name. And I always thought like, oh, Fireman gets all the props because it's like a hidden gem. It's like, no, Fireman's a fucking awesome game. And Final Fantasy Adventure is a fucking awesome game. Like on the tier of Golden Axe Warrior, I think. It's a very similar game to Golden Axe Warrior. You should play Final Fantasy Adventure. It's a more primitive game, but like it also has like a shitload of weapons. It's really cool. You could think of it as a Zelda clone, but it's not.
I have played it and I enjoy it.
Yeah. And then Castlevania Circle of the Moon, better than I expected it to be. That's kind of like the primitive earlier version of games like Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow. But still super good.
That game gets flack, and I think that is a very good Castlevania.
So there is so much grinding and so many secrets and so many combinations of things to do, of like ways to you get like these abilities and you combine them. It's like I don't know what's the game where you combine them, but it's like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. And there's so much. You could complete that game and see like 10% of the stuff in that game because there's so much hidden shit. And then there's like multiple modes after that. If you got this game as a kid, you could sit down and play it for like 300 hours. Like just if you didn't have a guide and you had to figure all this shit out on your own. That's the kind of game it was designed to be. Now it's like, oh, the internet, you have to go to this specific room and kill this guy like 100 times and he'll drop the card. It's like no one would ever ever figure to do that out. But if you were a kid with nothing but time, this is the game you want for Christmas, let me tell you. And then Might and Magic 6, The Mandate of Heaven. Our man from Video Game Sage Gloves loves this game, and I agree. It's very good, very strange, very unique RPG. Almost a combination of a dungeon crawler. It's like a half turn-based, half real-time dungeon crawler mixed with like Doom. It's a crazy, weird game.
Okay, and what systems is this on? It's just
Might and Magic 6, I think, is only on PC. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a weird PlayStation port, though, because everything's on PlayStation because it's the best console ever made.
It doesn't say that on Wikipedia. It just says Windows.
Well, go get it on Microsoft Windows. This is like the type of game that on like good old games, it'll be like $3 all the time. And it's like the game people will buy and never play. And if you actually sit down and play it, it's like, wow, this is 50 hours of one of the coolest games I've ever played.
I'm just going to tell people too. Good old games is GOG.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
I sometimes people like only know GOG as GOG.
All right. It's GOG.
Yeah, it's GOG. GOG, if you didn't know, is Good Old Games. If you didn't know, Good Old Games is called GOG sometimes. All right. I think people know that, but we do a bad job at that sometimes, so some clarity. Worst game you played, though, Tyler, what is it?
It's the same one that you played, Johnny. It's fucking D for the Sega Saturn.
D's nuts. This game sucks.
The game is the fucking worst adventure game I've ever played in my entire life.
Oh, my God. That game could have been played at 10x speed, and it would have still taken too long.
The fucking... It's a terrible game regardless, but the rotating room is just egregious because it's like a third of the entire game.
And the beginning of the game is like so French all of a sudden. You're just like, what is this? Man, just no.
Hey guys.
And people love this game.
No one loves this game. Fuck you. LJN had a podcast on it and they correctly hated it because D is trash.
D is too high a rating for this game. F.
So before I played video games, I looked before I played a lot more video games because I originally started out collecting Sega Saturn as one of the first consoles I ever collected. And I looked at games like D and Lunacy. I'm like, why is Lunacy expensive and D not expensive? Because they look so similar. They look like shitty kind of horror games. And it's probably because I didn't realize that D fucking sucks.
Man, I cannot wait till we get together again to play D2.
Yep. Sure. Is it? I think D2 is a much longer game, isn't it? It's not like D is like literally an hour long.
Oh, I don't know. We'll check. Part of what we do when we get together is I like to grab a bunch of games that aren't going to be like that. We're going to finish together. When Tyler comes over, we're going to play games that we can finish.
I'm looking. Yeah, D2 is like 7 hours, 8 hours. Can you imagine playing a D game for 8 hours?
Okay. No, I can't. Maybe I can. I don't know. Depends how much time we have. Probably
I feel like D is maybe worth playing to understand how bad it is. But like D2 has no historical significance. People think like D has historical significance. It comes up on like history of survival horror articles, which is fucking ridiculous. But like maybe you should play it to understand what it is because it is so short and people still talk about it for some reason. Like us.
Yeah. Man. Harvester would have been a great game for us to play together.
God, what a cooler game than fucking D.
Oh my God. Had we only known. I could have pulled out my Steam Deck. We could have played it on the TV. All right.
Johnny, what episode did Tyler hate the most?
What was your shark episode this year?
I'm guessing I looked through our episodes and we had an episode on I Am 8-bit stuff specifically, and there is no chance I was happy with that episode.
You were fine with that episode because we were looking into it from the thing of like, is it worth it to collect the I Am 8-bit like boutique publishers? Is this like a thing you should actually collect?
All right.
Do they go up or do they go down? We were kind of, as the company we respected more than say limited run games and more than stuff like super limited games and all these other like tiny boutique publishers. We identified I Am 8-bit as like someone who does a little more than other publishers, has some reason to exist aside from just like bullshit titles they're pumping out. So we looked at it from that lens and said, as a collector, is this the new working designs? Is this a thing you should be into? And, how did those games do? Did they sell out or not? I thought that was an interesting episode, and I thought you were mostly on board with that episode.
All right. Then it was probably the Lenticular Covers episode.
Yeah. Lenticular Covers. Again, if you've listened to this podcast long enough, I like gimmick episodes because I enjoy gimmicks. Again, I just told you about phone cards I bought. I like to look into those things. And sometimes when I do a bunch of research on something stupid, I want to share it with you all. And sometimes Tyler is just a passenger in those episodes where he has to listen and comment about those things.
I get so worried because I pretty much sit down with the goal of like, all right, we got to go at least like 2 hours, like God, minimum like an hour and a half. And I look at some of these episodes like, what, you want to talk about 10 games that happen to have lenticular covers? How are we going to stretch this to 2 hours? What are you talking about? I'm sure that episode's like 2.5 hours long for some reason, but
probably.
All right, as we approach the 3 hour mark here, Johnny,
this is an end of the year episode. This is what the people are here for. This is their jam.
I know. I mean, man, if they've been listening to this episode for this long, these are the diehards. What's up, guys? Welcome to After Dark. You guys listen to After Dark anyway. Episode ends here, guys. Welcome to After Dark. What happened to the Elephant Mario, Johnny?
This is just one we like to check in. This card is more available, I think, than it's been previously. There's 13
there is a small chance that someone listening doesn't know what the fuck that means. Can you explain what the Elephant Mario is?
Okay, sorry. Mario Wonder, when it came out, if you pre-ordered it, you got a pack of cards, and in that pack of cards, you had a chance of pulling a 1 out of 1,000, or limited to 1,000 printed Elephant Mario cards. Elephant Mario, the signature Mario form, in Mario Wonder. It's a game. It says the number you've got on it. So you've got a stamped, numbered, limited edition card that came randomly in these packs. Low chance of hitting it. Again, there was only 1,000. And this card instantly became super collectible, and people were putting it up for hundreds and then thousands of dollars. And we kind of just tracked to see if the hype is still going for Elephant Mario. So there are 13 currently available. People are still wishing on a star, trying to capture over $2,000 for this. Again, this is mostly stuff that the stock looks like mostly like stuff that was put on there a long time ago, and people are just hoping someone snaps it up. The ones that have sold actually have gone much lower. In November, one sold for $227. I would spend $227 on one of these. So if you got one, want $227, let me know. There was one that like $450 that went best offer, and that was in December. There are holiday sales for graded 10s going around $900, under $900, between $850 and $900 on those. So a few of those, but far less sold than are actually available. So I would say demand is still not really there for the Marios. Eventually this well will dry up. There's only 1,000, but do 1,000 people care about this? And will you be able to convince anyone else to care about this Elephant Mario? Probably not. Anyways, that's your check-in on Elephant Mario. I also saw that I think Bird Dog did an Elephant Mario video where he probably did a lot better research than I did in just my quick glance. So if you want real Elephant Mario stuff, please go visit the Unlockable podcast and or Bird Dog Gaming, his YouTube channel where that video lives.
There. Yeah. All right. Did you say the price? I didn't even remember. Did you say the price in there? Okay.
I did.
That's Elephant Mario. It could have been something, man. They could have made Nintendo trading cards a thing. They did it with Animal Crossing, and guess what? People still love those Animal Crossing cards. I saw I think it might have been a Cake Hoarder YouTube community post or something. He was looking to buy sealed Animal Crossing e-reader cards. Booster boxes.
Oh, from back in the day or current ones?
Yeah, back in the day. Like they made four series of those. Why don't they just make Nintendo trading cards?
No, they made 4 series of those. There was also the Nintendo Sports Amiibo cards, but then there was like 3 series of the original Animal Crossing cards too on GameCube. Oh no, you said e-reader, so you're talking about the original series.
Yeah, I'm talking about the original ones.
Yeah.
Yo, back in the day, man, we used to go on Animal Crossing Community and we would trade those with the other 15 people in the world who actually collected those at the time.
Sick. I got to put a TV in my living room.
Oh my God, hell yeah.
All right, Tyler. What else are we talking about?
Did eBay fix its shit, Johnny?
No, I would say the search has gotten a little better, a little tighter, but still not great. One of the things they added, though, was to be able to, and I don't know, maybe this is why everything is so broken as they were working out this feature. I don't know if you've tried this out, but you can search broad topics now in eBay. So if you type in adventure game, games will come up.
I fucking hate that. God.
Yeah.
I understand what a seller is going to put in the title of an item I want. Let me search for that.
I agree. So did they fix it? No. Is it working as intended? Probably.
They did not fix it. I haven't been as annoyed at it as I was last year, but I think that's mostly because of the shock of it used to work perfectly and then it was dog shit immediately. I've probably just gotten used to how bad it is, and I'm a little bit better at working around its limitations.
Yeah,
now.
Last year's trend was definitely the inshitification of eBay and just things in general. This year was AI and key cards. So yeah, I'm unsure if I have also just become desensitized to eBay's nonsense.
It is possible that younger people are better with prompting like shitty fuzzy searches like this. So because they're growing up in a world that's more like we grew up on like fucking Google 1.0 and Yahoo, which was a very different way of searching than you would search Google now, where your mom goes and she types like an entire sentence into Google.
Yeah.
I love my job. I'll complain about everything IT in my job, but my job's internal search engine, the main internal search engine, has 3 different modes. It has shitty AI mode, it has works like a search engine from 2015 mode, and then it has literal string search mode. And for my brain, literal string search mode is always what I want, and it always gives me the best results. And I just wish every search engine would have that.
It would be nice if you could pick your poison, so to speak.
The other 2 fucking modes, you could put quoted strings in the other 2 modes and it will ignore your fucking quotes and find similar thing. That's insane.
Shut up. Shut up. Why are you, don't even say that at me. It's just you're hurting my feelings. It's not nice.
God, you never break up a quoted string. What are you talking about? I don't care how similar it is. It's quoted. I'm smart. I know what I'm doing.
Jesus Christ. Don't. Okay. I can't with that. All right. Tyler, what is the outlook for collecting in 2026? Correct.
That's what I put in my notes. It says long exhale.
Correct.
So if things are going to change for whatever direction you want, there has to be a catalyst. You know, fucking Post Malone has to be like, you know what? I really want to get into graded Nintendo games. And then, you need an influencer or something. I don't see a catalyst. I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you now, it's not fucking graded loose cartridges.
No, I also think the economics of the world have to change up a little bit. There's still too much uncertainty going into 2026. We're still in decline and inflation is still on the rise. People are feeling the burn at both ends. So I don't know what that means for collecting in general. Collecting is always weird, though. It kind of exists outside of a lot of normal economic pressures. But I'm like, if we are in like a weird boom period again, I think that could be a catalyst where you might see people jump into video games again. But 2026, I don't see that happening. I don't see anything really shaking things up for 2026. I think it more of a slow and steady year.
I agree, and because of inflation, when video game prices are flat when any price is flat and the dollar is worth less, they are getting less valuable over time. So we said like, oh, this went up a little bit, this went down a little bit, but with inflation of 2025, it actually means it has gone down in value. Even if it's gone up, 0.5% or whatever, that means it's worth less than it used to.
If the increase did not meet the rate of inflation of the dollar, then your shit got less valuable. Even if line go up, that doesn't always mean that the line really moved up.
If I had a financial advisor, he would look at my Atari games and loose Super Nintendo cartridges and all this bullshit I have and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Get rid of this. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd be like, if you're saving for a rainy day, it's fucking pouring. Please get this out of your house.
Johnny, are we going to get past tariffs, or is importing dead in 2026? Wow, that's a loaded question here. Obviously, importing is not dead. But sure? I was very satisfied with a recent Jay Contra, Our Man in Japan video that came out. So Jay Contra, English-speaking guy. I don't know if he's Japanese or he lived in Japan for a very long time, and now he's I think he's back in America now, but lived in Japan for a while and made videos about buying Japanese video games and like market conditions over there. And he uses sites, or I think he buys directly from sites like Surugaya, but then you'll have to have them send you games with FedEx or DHL. And when we think about people who buy games from Japan, a lot of it will be like, oh, someone in the Get the Great Games Discord is buying like a $600 game, and like whatever. If it costs him $660 at the end of the day, he doesn't really care, especially if his plan is to grade it and sell it for $1,500. Jay Contra is like a very normal dude, and he will buy like a $35 video game and then have it just shipped to him. He doesn't buy 20 games at once. He doesn't get like a box of shit. He's not going for a haul. He just has a game he wants and he'll buy it. And this year, what he very quickly realized happens is he buys a $35, and this is something I've complained about multiple times because it happens to me too. He'll buy a $35 game. The tariff on that game will be $3, and then DHL will charge him a $25 fee for processing the tariff. So he can no longer buy individual games from Japan, not because of the tariffs, but because of the fees associated with the tariffs, which are almost doubling the price of buying cheap stuff for him. And I realize that $25 fee, whatever stupid fee you get charged on top of that, that matters less the more you buy in one order. But the average person, I don't think, buys 25 games from Japan at once. The average person might buy 1 or 2 games. And then if they're getting hit with these stupid fees, they're not going to be buying shit from Japan as much. And I usually buy a lot of shit, and I'm so annoyed at getting nickel and dime by fucking UPS and FedEx for this fucking tariffs. I'm buying way less shit from Japan.
It's obnoxious too, because FedEx and UPS, they hide behind the tariff like it's the tariff's fault that they have looked to monetize this fee so heavily so they can line their pockets. It's ridiculous.
It fucking sucks. And yeah, I've been buying, and so Zen Market also, Zen Market used to give you the option to pay the tariff in advance or just wait and get hit with it. And you wait and get hit with it, and it sucks because you have the tariff and then you have like the stupid fee you have to pay on top of it. But that's still less than their prepayment because they're fucking juicing you on this prepayment. You don't pay the exact tariff. You pay like some estimated bullshit, and they're just pocketing whatever the difference is because you are overpaying when you prepay for the tariff. And now Zen Market took away the ability to just pay the tariff when it arrives. You always have to prepay the tariff on Zen Market. And it's just another fucking market. It fucking sucks. It is a terrible time to buy games from Japan.
It's the same thing they do with when they do the currency conversion. Somehow their currency conversion never lines up. It's always a few cents more. You're exactly. Just like... Yeah. You're like, just fucking knock this off. Like, I'm not an idiot. I checked first. So like, just say that you are charging me more, that there's a fee to convert, like whatever, but don't act like, oh, it's 65 cents, not 63 cents. You're like, motherfucker, I looked at this. I hate feeling like I'm nickel and dimed. It's like when you go out to a restaurant and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to tip here. And then they're like, oh, and there was a convenience fee for eating in the restaurant. It's like, what do you mean there's a convenience fee for eating in the restaurant? What do you mean there's a convenience fee? Like, stop adding all these additional stupid fees onto everything. Just build it into the price so I don't see it. Because if I can look at a price and say yes or no up front, I'm fine with that. But when you nickel and dime me at the very back end of it, I just feel like you're taking advantage of me, and it makes me way less likely to be a consumer.
Yeah. And I strongly agree that's the reason that I'm buying less stuff. It's not the price. I still think like a lot of games are a lot cheaper in Japan, and even there's a lot of good stuff you could get for pretty cheap. But it's so to buy a game from Japan, to be clear, I use TransferWise, wise.com. So I am transferring money to them. They take like their 1% fee to convert into Japanese yen. And then there's also, you get the slightly shittier than normal conversion rate. So that's the second time you get hit. You put money in a Zen Market account. When you buy something, Zen Market takes a fee from that. And now they take the tariff fee on top of that. That's more than the actual tariff. Plus you're paying the fucking tariff. It's just like, it's an endless litany of just like everyone gets a little cut now more than they used to.
Yep. And again, I hate when companies hide behind the idea of a tariff. They're like, oh, the tariff did it. That meme with the guy holding the gun. Tariffs, why did you do this? This is how I feel every time I see this. Again, I'm not over here supporting like the ridiculous tariffs, also super obnoxious that helped create this system. I wish we could just go back to the way it was, and I look forward to that. I don't see an end to that in 2026. And I mean, who knows? Again, also, it feels like things have been more stable as like the tariffs are what they are, but I don't trust the administration not to be like, well, we're going to turn everything on its head again all of a sudden at the drop of a hat. So is importing dead? For me, it is, at least unless I have to make like a really big purchase. It was a shame too, because I wanted to buy a bunch of games this Halloween. In August, I normally do my Japanese buy for like the Halloween stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to target like these 10 Japanese games so I can showcase them. And this year I had to change course and decide like, okay, I'm not really going to focus on Japanese stuff. I'm going to do weird computer stuff instead, or pick other systems rather than going down that route. And I don't like that. I want to buy more PC 88 games that I can show people. And I wish that this situation was better.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm like, I have like my save searches. Like if I get something from Japan, like I'm not hesitating. I'm buying the stuff that's on my want list. But my boring, like, oh, I have nothing to do. Let me go browse things to buy that I shouldn't buy because these aren't my goals. But I would browse Japanese computer games, and just like start picking some random $30, $40 shit up. But I'm not doing that anymore. It's not even the prices. It's just the fucking nickel and diming that's killing me.
Yep, hate it. All right, Tyler, are trading cards still king?
Dude, I don't know. Okay. I think the Pokemon market's down. I've seen memes about people pivoting to One Piece.
Yeah. So I would say that the trading card market is not dead or anything like that. It's down a little. Pokemon is down a little. But again, I'm not walking into stores and seeing Pokemon cards where other people are saying they are. I buy all from one place anyways. I buy from my buddy's shop. I'm lucky in that sense. But yeah, I'm not like seeing it out in the wild for me to suggest to other people. One Piece isn't like fully in Target, so it's harder for the scalpers. They have to go to like websites. There's a Bandai game. So yeah, I don't think trading cards are dead. I think sports card had a slight uptick. I think they are still king as far as the collectibles. Again, all the robberies point to, like, I didn't see anyone robbing any toy stores to get their collectible action figures, but they sure were robbing stores to get their Pokemon cards and their sports cards. And not even like Magic the Gathering cards or One Piece cards yet, though that could start to change.
I mean, it really helps when you have pop 20,000 of something and you're trying to fence it a stolen good. I bet it's pretty easy, especially like an ungraded Charizard, whatever. I'm sure it'll be just fine selling that.
The new Mega Charizard from Phantasmal Flames is the one you want. There's a gold one, and then there's just the SIR, which is special illustration rare. And Yeah, that's the one you want because
Hey,
it shows
Pokemon, get new material. Charizard's not my favorite Pokemon. Why is Charizard always the chase
Charizard
card? in
most
every
popular.
set? Get the fuck
Charizard
out.
most popular Pokemon. He's not in every set.
There's actually a good YouTube video that it's a very big survey on what people's favorite Pokemon is. Did we discuss this on like After Dark already?
I don't know.
I think the most popular favorite Pokemon is like, is it Mimikyu? It's like the little Pikachu ghost thing.
Oh, I love Mimikyu. He is my favorite.
Everybody loves a Mimikyu.
Dude, Mimikyu is great. There's not enough Mimikyu cards.
There's a whole Google sheet. It's got like 70,000 votes on it, and you can see like where your favorite ranks. And I think like Alakazam was down in the 200s. It was really sad to see. Honestly.
So I mean, it doesn't matter if Charizard isn't technically the most popular. He's the one who sells the most packs.
Yeah,
So,
who sells the most Magic the Gathering packs? Back in my day, it was Jace's.
Yeah, now it's, you know what it isn't? It isn't Spider-Man, which you'd think it would be. But the new Marvel set's going to be a banger, so wait for that. Yeah, we're going to Lorwyn next. Sorry. There it is. Get that icon on there. Put a little Magic card on there. We talked about Magic. Yeah. Trading cards still doing fine. And Tyler, I'm going to end this episode with a question. I mean, I'm going to do the normal stuff too, but I'm going to end it with a question, this part of it anyways. What's one thing you are looking forward to maybe buying this year?
Oh, shit. I was supposed to come up with an answer for this. Did I put something in the notes?
Yes.
Oh, I did. Yes. John Brown, do you still listen to this show? What is going on? I had to say, so, all right, there's this game. You might not have seen this YouTube video because it has like 700 views. Listener of the show, John, found a copy of a game called Dungeon of Doom, and I think it might be the first physical tactical RPG ever made, if not the first tactical RPG ever made. Again, might be something on the Plato Network that predates this, but it has grid-based tactical combat with an entire party of diverse CRPG characters. They are all represented by colored squares. It is the worst fucking game you have ever played, but it came out in 1980, which is before almost anything like this existed. Like years before something like Dragon and Princess, for like the FM7, game everybody commonly refers to. And I dumped it for him. I made the YouTube video on it, and then I immediately set up an eBay save search because I know he doesn't want it. I know he just bought this in a lot of Apple stuff, and he's just going to sell it. And I made a YouTube video, and it's like, once the YouTube video comes out, people will know what it is, and then he can post it on eBay. It'll have a bunch of fanfare, and I know I'm going to have to bid against people and pay the market price now, because now people know this game exists, whereas before, no one would know it exists. And I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care. I want this game so fucking bad. It's the only copy on Earth that we know of. I will pay whatever for it. And it hasn't come to market. It's been like years at this point, John. Where is it? Sell me Dungeon of Doom. I want the game so bad. I want it so bad.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to reach out to John because you've got his contacts and just be like, I want to buy this. How can I make your life easier? What do you think it's worth?
I have no idea.
Tyler, do you need me to do this for you?
Yes.
Okay, give me his contact info. I'll contact him.
This is exactly how negotiating for anything goes when Johnny's involved. I don't want to do it, and Johnny's like, all right, I'm going to get this game for you, Tyler.
Just let me take care of this for you. I'm a good friend. You're supposed to agree with that.
I just want to say, okay, hold on. Side note, I'm sorry, this podcast has been going on for like 3.5 hours. I did do a little bit of something in the background here. While we were talking about Japanese games, I brought up my Japanese save searches, and I found a copy of Pennant Race for the PC-88. It doesn't matter what this game is. It's a stupid Koei game that doesn't matter. And I sent it to our buddy Tiger Wolf. And you know what he said? He said, oh, wow, it'll only cost twice as much as that price once the tariffs after I get that.
Yep. Poor Tiger Wolf. All right. Tyler, we've done it. We've done the year-end episode. Now we have to do What is a 4-hour banger?
What,
we got
are you buying and playing? We have to do that.
We got a question. We got to say what the best thing we saw. We got to wrap up the show.
Real quick.
All
right. The best thing in the what are you show off your games? Peaceful. Yep. Our friend from South Korea moved to Canada, immediately decided Canada sucks, and moved his entire collection from Korea to Canada and then back to Korea. And he posted his stuff, and it's cool. I love seeing people's collections. And it was all after he moved it and had it all set up nicely.
Yeah. Also, in the same vein, not moving but showing off your full collection, the Fleo shows off his beautiful looking collection. Very nice behind those IKEA glass. Love it. And is there an individual game? Did anyone show off a single game? There was some Ninja Gaidens in the chat. We got some.
I don't care about Rage Bound.
Metroid Prime Beyonds. Speaking of I Am 8-Bit, somebody got the special edition blueprints from I Am 8-Bit, the Gamer Collective. That's a good one. Right. And Josh Byerly bought so many Atari games that I don't, and Intellivision games, that if I didn't know he was selling some of these, I'd be mad at him.
Who's buying them?
People. Look, Whatnot is a different world. If you want a different perspective on what is going to sell, go to Whatnot. Just go to any random video game stream, see what people sell and see what people buy. It's a different world. It's a different world than what we live in. Also, Josh, he showed off a bunch of SSI games, a bunch of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books with the clue books. Super jealous. They look awesome. What a good pickup.
Yeah, honestly, Josh has some really cool stuff. Like a bunch of like nice sealed and complete VIC-20 games and Atari XE cartridges, just like stuff you don't see that often. Like old stuff. If I go into a game store and they have fucking Atari XE cartridges, I'm like, oh, this is a good fucking game store. Because that means that they will take whatever and not just like, oh, people buy Nintendo and Sega stuff, so we're going to stock those.
Also, the Fleo showed off a puppy, and who doesn't love a puppy?
Doesn't count. All right, we got to end this episode. What's the question? We're getting one question this episode because it's like 100 hours long.
It's not 100 hours long. I know you got to go to work. Just call in sick.
Yeah, it's a work that we always record on Saturdays, and now it's like, dude, I got work tomorrow.
Yeah, but what are you doing working on New Year's Eve? Just take the day off like a normal person. You got plenty of time off.
Nope. It's every single one of my cases I get this week. It's always from the Middle East. They don't care. They're up at 4 a.m. They don't give a shit about Christmas. I love my Middle Eastern customers. They're all really nice, but they don't give a shit about Christmas. They are here to work some 6-hour-long cases.
Shout out to Final
Christmas
Fight
Eve.
CD. I'm going to shout out Final Fight CD because he showed the Jaguar Sega CD game with the lenticular cover that he was influenced by this podcast to buy.
So Johnny, question for you. Yes, I do appreciate that that we're influenced. I love being an influencer. This is like proof that we are influencing. I don't know why we're influencing people to buy lenticular Japanese Sega CD games, but we'll take it.
Yep.
Johnny, is the Genesis Halloween set superior to the SNES Halloween set? Asks
the Genesis
Shackfish.
Is not superior to the Super Nintendo in any way, shape, or form. Get out of here with these garbage questions.
Is that true? Damn. I'm thinking of like the physical media, like worse boxes, worse cartridges, worse controller, worse console. You know, a Model 1 Genesis, is that cooler
worse
than
sound.
a Super Nintendo? No, the cartridge, I think of the console, I think of the cartridge slot, and the cartridges suck, so. Are you serious? Is the Super Nintendo actually better than the Genesis in every way?
Yeah.
I mean, you could get into like specific genres and be like, well, the Genesis has better shooters, but that's getting nitpicky. But like as an overall thing, that's crazy. Like the sound is better on the Super Nintendo. Damn. Graphics? Yeah. Probably better on the Super Nintendo. All right, damn. That's so sad for the Genesis. In my mind, they're like comparable, like going like tit for tat. But no, look, Super Nintendo is just kind of better at everything.
It's not like, look, the Super Nintendo, an all-timer, okay? So to be second place to an all-timer isn't that bad, okay? Well, it's not like I'm saying I love the Genesis. It's not like it's a piece of shit, but it is, like, in my opinion, just going to be worse. So, anyways, I pick Super Nintendo. And I have a whole shit ton of bias. Any other questions?
I think, all right, OGCIB, I think, is asking something about end of year. So hold on. Oh, no, these people are just talking in the Ask the Podcast. Stop talking in the Ask the Podcast thing. But he's just saying PS4 has around 2,650 North American games. The Switch has around 2,280 games. Do you think the Switch will catch up to the PS4 as the biggest North American library?
No. No, I don't. And
you don't think it'll ever catch? Yeah. I think the Switch will have a long tail because.
But so will the PS4. That's the PS4's tail has already been very long, and while the console kind of exists in these, and both of them are doing this, exist in this dual realm where it's like, oh, they upgrade to the PS5 copy, or this one comes with the PS5 copy as well. I'm unsure. The Switch, it could get there, but I think the Switch with the key cards kind of damaged itself a little bit, and I like the hype for Switch is down lower than it's ever been. So I don't know if they get to come back from that. This might be a self-inflicted wound.
No, I think Switch One. There are people who are like, Switch One's the next NES. I think that is true to an extent in that there will be a big contingent of people who want to collect Switch games. And I think a large part of that will also be people who grow up not collecting anything else, but did grow up with physical Switch games, and they just collect Switch. I think there will be those people.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think
big
the library, the physical size of the library, I don't know if it'll catch up 500 games.
I think that's
a quarter of the library, right?
And that would assume that like PS4 also doesn't get anything, and like even if it doesn't have as many games, it will get more games.
Yeah, so I mean Nintendo's got to put out 25% more of its library, and PS4 has to stop. And let's say PS4 stops, I don't know. I don't see it getting there.
There are 2,650 PS4 games. That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. And I don't think he counts the VR games as
No,
part
that
of
counts the VR games in there.
Does
he
it?
Specifically said that.
Okay. Which I think is like 100 or 200 games.
There's 200 VR games? That's crazy.
100 or 200, yeah,
wow.
I think. I you know what? Who knows that? OGCIB knows that for sure.
I bet he does.
He does. He's got a list. Best set
That's
collector in the
his
world.
tagline. OGCIB. He's got a list.
Best collector in the world.
Is it bad? It is bad, but it's as good as you're going to get.
Yep. Okay. Is that it? We got it?
It's Christmas time, John. Did you buy or play anything?
Tyler, I bought a game called Tape for the PS5. It's an import. It's a horror game.
Cool. Does it matter?
It might matter. Look, man,
please tell me we're done.
Collecting horror games for modern consoles is a wild thing. So we've been going through and doing the horror, like here's the set for the Genesis and here's the set for the Super Nintendo. We will probably stop that after the 32-bit generation. We could go to GameCube, but after that, I mean, we could go all the way up until like the PS3, and then the amount of games explodes so exponentially, it becomes ridiculous. It's like untenable because the sets are so large. Like PS2, we probably couldn't do because it would be too big. But like GameCube, you could do and stuff. But the other list, they're just gigantic. I'm like collecting modern horror games, and it's so many, and on what counts, even with my rigid list, there's still things squeezing itself in there. I'm just like, God damn, do I have to change the criteria for modern consoles to make it tighter, to squeeze things out, or the list will just be like, how is a set of 2,600 games, how does it have 300 games in it that classify? That seems like too many. And it's not, these aren't exact
down this path.
I know. These are not exact numbers, by the way. This is just, it might only be like 100 games, but I own like a lot of PS4 games. And look, I enjoy collecting them. It's a whole interesting world, especially because I do imports and stuff, like stuff that only came out in Europe and Japan. And yeah, it's very interesting, very cool. I like it a lot, but man, the list gets big.
Guys, you want to make your life 100 times easier. pick a 10 or 20 year period and focus your entire collection on that and don't allow yourself to buy games outside that period. It could just be, the past 10 years, the past 20 years, but then you don't have to worry about the fucking PS2 anymore. You don't worry about NES. You just worry about this stupid PS4 and Switch shit. And that's your whole collecting world now. And then you're going to know a lot about that, and we're going to ask you questions, but there is too much stuff to buy everything at this point.
Man, if you did it to the last 10 years, your collection would be... It's very easy to have 10,000 games when you have to buy 2 libraries that are over 2,000 games each.
It is, yeah, it's hilarious. Like, I feel like I have an overwhelming amount of games. It's like, dude, my collection is like what? It's like Xbox, Switch, PS4, PS5 combined probably. That's it? It's like 4 consoles?
Yeah.
Back in my day, 500 games was an entire set, man. Come on.
We talked about the GameCube like it was a moderately sized set. Now it's like, that's small.
Tiny. Yeah, N64, that's like lunch. What? It's like a greatest hits set on like a PS4.
It's ridiculous. Anyways, that's it for the podcast, Tyler. Well, no, I didn't ask you. I played some Diablo. I intend to play some Metal Gear. What did I play with my son? We played some Minecraft. So yeah, that's what I played. Tyler, what did you play?
I played Yarg, which is Rock Band on the PC. I've been just drumming a lot.
Nice. Did you buy anything?
Johnny, did I say I bought another Telegames Pong?
You told me you bought a Telegames Pong.
Johnny, I bought a third Telegames Pong. So I bought Telegames Pong at like a convention, and then I bought another one on eBay, and they turned out to be different variants, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this is the first home release of Pong by Atari. It's not the first home Pong console, because the first home Pong console is a Magnavox Odyssey, which is just a Pong ripoff. But I bought a third one. I'm just like, they don't come up that often, and they are pretty cheap, so I'm just like, I'll just buy them and look for variants. I don't care. I know the serial numbers. There's like different batches, and I'm going to just try to find one from the earliest batch. So fuck you. If there's complete in box Telegames Pong, I'm buying them if they're cheap. You're never going to find a cheap Telegames Pong again because I'm out here hunting.
Tyler's, he's out there. Hey, Tyler, you know what else I bought? I bought a game called Gloomy Eyes. I know you've never heard of it. It's a PS5 kind of like cutesy horror, Tim Burton-esque, like Leica Studios looking game. I bought 2 copies because one was on sale, and then I was like, I'll return the other one. I don't need to pay $50 for this one. I found it for $25. It instantly went on sale, but from a different company. I'll just send the $50 one back. It came back. I got them both, and they have different UPCs, Tyler. And now I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. Again, these are European exclusives, and now I'm confused and angry, and I don't know what to do. I'm like, now do I have to keep this, or like, what do I do with this? It's very upsetting. So if anybody knows, if anybody's a big Gloomy Eyes fan and has been following this, you hit me up and tell me why I might have a different UPC on this game when everything else about these games looks identical. Anyways, that is it for the show. Tyler, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Johnny. You know, I do have some feedback I really enjoyed from the last episode. I do want to share it. It was from Future Man. I don't have it up in front of me. I just remember it. We were talking about the highest rated games on Steam, and I was complaining about Vampire Survivors being in the top 10 because I think it's one of the worst games I've played in my life. And Stardew Valley at number 1, which, it's fine. It's nowhere near a Portal 2, I think. But Future Man pointed out that Steam is a thumbs up, thumbs down system. So the top rated games are actually the most palatable to the widest range of people. They're not like the 10 out of 10 games. They're what most people would call 6 out of 10 or better.
That was a Rotten Tomatoes-esque scale.
Yeah, exactly. And that doesn't make it better for me that Vampire Survivors is on there, but
it should be rotten.
That is interesting. So you can't really rank the Steam games. It's a strange ranking. It's a ranking of how palatable it is to the widest range of people. It's a different thing. I've never really thought about that. So that's my cool feedback from the last episode.
Okay. I mean, I understand rating systems like that. It still does indicate like a general acceptance, which tends to, again, especially when you have that many votes, that many people think well of it. So it does speak to how much mindshare it takes up, which is still wild. Anyways, Yeah, good feedback. Thank you. Tyler, I'm closing us out. You good?
No, let's get out of here.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for listening to the show and sticking with us this whole year. And I wish you and all of those close to you the best, happiest New Year's. And, if you like what we do over here, you can go check us out on Patreon if you want. It's patreon.com/collectorsquest. If not, don't worry about it. And we will just see you next time. We hope to see you in the new year. Thanks, everybody. Bye.